Classy on a Friday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter. It's a beautiful day, boys. Sun is shining.
It's beautiful.
It's not raining. The weekend is upon us. Weekend's going to be great. We got the Masters on. Blues taking on the Hurricanes tonight. You can listen to it right here on 101 ESPN. Our Cardinals opening up a new series out in Arizona against the Diamondbacks.
Let's go Cards.
The team that they aspire to be.
Let's go Blues.
The latest example
let's go,
of
baby.
just get in.
Get it on the shirt.
And then you don't know what could happen. That's the headline.
Who are we talking? Which St. Louis team are we talking about?
Either, actually.
Well, typically Cardinals own that, but I guess the Blues, sure.
Blues are
Well,
right
we definitely
there.
want that for the Blues.
We want it
Just
for
get
the
in,
Blues.
baby.
I don't know if that's their mentality.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, well,
Like the Cardinals
Blues,
adopt that. The Blues do.
the Blues today down at Morning Skate, I was pleasantly surprised. The attitude around the team is unbelievable right now. Like for a while, it's quiet at Morning Skate. You know, you're like, you see the guys kind of going through. Today, guys are snapping the biscuit around, hooting and hollering, celebrating goals, making fun of each other. Like this energy about them. I'm like, hey, you may get the wheels beat off you tonight by the Hurricanes. It's possible because that's a hell of a hockey team.
Yeah, we'll go over some of those numbers here in a
No,
second.
let's not.
Pulled up some numbers on the old page.
But I will say this. If the Blues put together a game like they can, because we've seen it. We see them beat Boston. We've seen them beat Edmonton. We've seen them like beat Colorado 8-3 in Colorado. Like they can do this. If they do get the win tonight, it puts a tremendous amount of pressure on Vegas because Seattle should not be a tough game for you. Shouldn't be. And then Dallas, they're probably going to be in autopilot mode, dressing half their squad for the last game of the season.
Looked like it last night.
Yeah, it did. So, anyways, just thought I'd give you guys a little behind the curtain. I mean, why go down to pregame skate if I can't give you a little something?
Yeah,
you know?
appreciate
Give us
that.
some info. Let us
Boys a
know
little
what-
loose. I like it.
Nikita Alexandrov lost a tooth last
I
game.
was going to ask you that. Was that his first tooth that he's lost?
No, he actually lost that same tooth in junior. So he was lucky, just like me. Like this one here was knocked out a long time ago. And Anthony, I think we were on the show together where the one morning it broke in half.
Yeah.
I came in, I was like Lloyd Christmas.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It was, but I had to be on TV.
You got it filled that day, I think, didn't you?
I had to be on TV that
Really?
night. So I went to my dentist, Joe Reed, by the way. Shout out to Joe Reed, Cottleville Dental. He is the bomb. He got me in. He said, okay, let's go to work here.
That's awesome.
man.
But my tooth was already fake, so it's not like it was hurting, and he put a cap on it.
Okay.
Fine. So Alexandrov, same thing. How about this? I don't know if you saw it, Anthony. The whistle blew last game, and Alexandrov's kind of pissed off because the whistle blew, and he's like skating, and Walker went to flip the puck to the referee, but he just flipped it, and it hit Alexandrov in the face and knocked out half his tooth. Now, the good news is it was a fake tooth. So Nicky was
That
able
makes
to
it okay.
pick up the other half of it off the ice, and then he got it glued back in.
How mad are you, though, that your teammate just... It's an accident, but it's one of those accidents where you really like... If you weren't my teammate, I might punch you in the face.
You feel bad. The worst one I ever saw in my career. And Al McInnes, Chopper, if you're listening right now, I apologize in advance. But we were playing in Nashville, and Al made a bad play. And Al turned and went to smash his stick off the top of the boards. Problem is, Darren Turcotte had his hand on the boards. And he smashed his hand, broke it in 2 or 3 different places. And Turk, obviously he went down. Al felt so bad he couldn't play the rest of the game.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you break a guy's hand,
Right.
you put him out of the lineup.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. And Al wore that one, man. Because Al was a great teammate. He was a leader on the team.
It's an
all
accident,
that stuff.
yeah.
It was an accident. He lost his temper for a minute. We all have done it. I've taken my stick and smashed it over the goal, like the crossbar and whatnot.
Yeah. But still, that's your guy's hand.
It's hard. Like you're in the no.
Almost rather lose it.
Best would have been like, why'd you have your hand there?
Now I'm just picturing it. So,
And it was too late.
the momentum's
Yeah,
Yep.
the lightsaber had already done its damage.
Yeah. Not great. So the Blues, how do they pull off the mother of all upsets tonight? Here, I told you I got some numbers on the old Hurricanes.
All right.
Yeah,
They're
Hurricanes, they're rolling. 14-3-1 since March 7th. 14-3-1 since March 7th are the Carolina Hurricanes. Won 5 of their past 6. That includes, gentlemen, a 3-game winning streak.
Yeah.
In their last game, Boston Bruins, pretty good squad. Hurricanes took them behind the old woodshed, 4-1.
They did.
4-1 victory. I believe that was in Boston, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. That was on Tuesday. They have outscored, they being the Carolina Hurricanes, outscored their opponents 19-7 in their past 6 games. 4 of those goals against, so 4 of the 7, came in one game. So if you think about that, you take away the one game, which I hate saying that, but I'm just giving you perspective here. If you just take out that one game, because it did happen, 19-3, they've outscored their opponents. If you take away that Bruins loss on April 4th. So, Jamie, how does the old underdog, our underdog tonight, tip the scales in their favor?
So, funny enough, I sat down with Robert Thomas today, just kind of shooting the breeze with him, just getting a feeling on. I asked him about, how he sees the young guy, Bolduc, his progression and all that. He's very happy with Bolduc, thinks he can be a really good player in the NHL. Anyways, the conversation worked its way around to tonight, and we both agreed that this is a formidable opponent with lots of speed, lots of talent. And for our listeners right now, when you watch the game tonight, watch how aggressive the Carolina Hurricanes are on the forecheck. They get into the offensive zone, they go to work, and no matter what side the puck goes to, the defensemen pinch down the wall every single time to try and keep the puck in the zone. And then once the defenseman is active, the defenseman will roam them all over the ice in the offensive zone. Forwards will be playing defense are playing forward. You have no idea who the hell's playing where. It's unreal what they do, because Rod Brind'Amour likes them to just be aggressive. Go at all cost, we're scoring goals. I don't care. We'll give up some opportunities, whatnot, but at all costs, we're scoring goals. So in talking to Robert Thomas, both kind of agreed, today's a day where you have to just put pucks behind the opponent. Don't look for the home run pass, board to board or side to side. Don't look for the funny little drop pass, the behind the back pass. Get the puck. If you have ice, take ice. And when they take away that ice, put the puck behind them and go get the puck. All night. Like Lionel Richie said, all night long. Just put the puck. All night. All night. Make their defenseman turn and get the puck as well. Brent Burns, he doesn't want to go back and get the puck all night. He doesn't. But you make him.
Yeah.
All their other defensemen, they don't want to go back and get the puck. You make them. And you have to stay disciplined to the process. If you veer off the course, it could end up in the back of your net. So that's the Blues are going to have to play a very simple, direct game tonight and be very aware of managing the puck.
Yeah. Neutral zone stuff. Any sort of neutral zone.
No turnover.
Right.
Defensive zone turnover, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Because
no,
they are
neutral
buzzing.
zone.
I know. I'm talking about even yes, you're correct. So
yes,
there's
boss.
2 parts. Yes, you're correct.
Right.
Part 2 is if you try those little passes in the defensive zone, those little ones that kind of get picked off every now and then, no damage done. You're done.
Yeah.
You're on life support. If you give the puck up, the puck has to be one pass out of the zone, one pass, chip it out, one pass, skate it out. If you're going 2-3 passes, you're done.
So if they are a team that's going to, you don't know where they are they susceptible to having breakouts on the opposite end? Are the Blues capable of getting out of their zone and getting into the offensive zone, neutral zone, offensive zone?
You are, but the problem is their forwards are really responsible. So if the defensemen end up down low in the offensive zone, they drop 2 forwards back to the blue line. Like I said earlier, forwards are playing defense, defense are playing forward. Now, are they more susceptible to a mistake defensively? Yeah, they are. But you still have to get the puck clean, pass the puck up the ice clean, handle it clean, and get up the ice and make your move.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but there is a reason that the Carolina Hurricanes are a favorite for the Stanley Cup this year. They have all the elements going for them, and the one area where they were lacking was goaltending, and Freddie Anderson, since coming back from this weird blood disorder that he's got, he's on fire. Like a 940 save percentage. You can't get a grease BB past him right now. So that stinks. So the Blues got to run him early in the game. Thought I could slide that in there.
It did take me a half a beat there. I was locked into what you're saying. Then I'm like, wait a second. Is that what he just said?
This is where you grab the young kids. This is where back in my day. we play a game like this, or Eddie Belfour, or like some of these goalies where you know they would lose their mind, the veterans would come over and grab a young guy like me and be like, hey, I'm going to dump the puck in, and when the goalie leaves the net to get the puck, you're going to run him. Don't worry, I'll be right behind you. We'll clean up the mess. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But we're either going to get him out of the game physically, or he'll be out of the game mentally at that point.
And then their defenseman will get an interference penalty.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
And then if you sit there, and you see the puck going, you're like, here we go. Everybody ropes, everybody rides.
It's now or never.
Yeah.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Blues Hurricanes pregame starting at 6 o'clock right here on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers with us until 4 o'clock, until Jamie heads downtown for Bally Sports Midwest and the broadcast there. We'll, of course, again, have the game for you on the Blues Radio Network. Marshy.
Yes.
We're heading right to the text line, huh? Air
Oh,
Comfort
yeah.
Service text line, 314-399-9646. This one should be good.
Yeah, the 618.
Oh,
It
wow.
was great that you asked for mic drops yesterday and ignored them about the Cards versus the Blues.
You know what, Marshy, I was actually disgusted with Stalter for that yesterday. Anthony, you and I had a meeting after
Yeah,
the
we
show.
did. Yeah, we did.
It got heated.
I got in between you.
Yeah, Carey was great about it.
I was trying to. It's my first time watching this in person.
It's
I've heard
tough.
about it between you two,
Yeah.
but to see
tough.
it, I was like,
Now, it's happened to me, too. Anthony's grabbed me before after show and said, hey, look, that stuff's unacceptable.
Yeah.
So we ironed it out. It did get heated, Carey. Thank you again for your
problem.
presence in there. Marcia, I appreciate you just kind of staying out of it. It was great.
I had my video camera rolling, so.
Yeah.
It'll be on World Star.
Yeah, there's a couple times. I mean, Jamie, one of the things that you and I like to do is it's a lot of times it's like, you're not in Mount Pleasant, Michigan anymore, Anthony. And I'm like, you're not in Saskatchewan. You're not in Canada, Jamie.
Yeah.
This crap won't work here.
The one I don't appreciate, though, is when you rip your shirt off and you're like, well, how about this chest hair? Where's
Yeah,
your chest
where's
hair?
your chest
And
hair?
I'm like, I like to shave it. I like
Yeah.
to trim that. You're like, yeah, you're not a real man. I'm like, oh, really?
Right, yeah.
Really?
Jamie,
I'll show you a real man.
Right, I'm
That's
sorry
when I
about
take
that.
the pants off. It's weird.
it's just really weird.
It gets
That's why.
awkward.
That's when I stopped.
Which is great.
yesterday.
Yeah.
You were getting around. So, whoa!
I appreciate
What
you.
the hell? Well, no.
pulling my-
Yeah. Well, I I got you.
Your hands were freezing, but that's fine.
The belt. Yeah.
We'll see it on Friday Night SmackDown tonight,
That's right.
Carey.
Yeah.
Well said, Marcia.
But the bottom line is we do hold each other accountable here in the fast lane. Nobody's safe. And after Jamie really, gave me the talking to yesterday, I came around and I said, Jamie, you're right. We didn't get to any of those mic drops. I hope none of our listeners call us out for it either.
Too late.
618, just holding us accountable.
Yep. He'd been waiting 24 hours.
Oh man.
So we're going to get your mic drops. We're going to get your mic drops throughout the course of the day today. Anything that you want to sound off about? We had the Cardinals Blues expectation conversation yesterday. And now, in my defense, at the end of the show, I said, we're going to do it tomorrow. But maybe the 618 wasn't listening. Either way, I love his passion. I love his spirit. I love his drive. And I love that he's constantly critical about everything in the whole entire world. Your mic drops on the Cards next on 101 ESPN.
If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this game. Not tonight.
At R&R Tire Express, it has never been easier to get the tires that you need and the wheels that you want, because now through April 15th, you only got 3 more days on this. Request a quick quote, and R&R will pay half your first month's payment. That's right, half your first month's payment between now and April 15th. It's never fun to have to buy tires. It's usually something that it's done out of necessity. Either you need new tires because the ones that you have now are worn out, or you blew out a tire. Either way, R&R, they're making it easy and affordable to get new tires. And again, they're going to pay half your first month's payment on this. So simply submit your contact info, vehicle year, make and model on rnrtires.com. Again, rnrtires.com to secure your half-off offer today. And don't worry, requesting a quote is a no-commitment inquiry. R&R Tire Express offers flexible payment options. Everyone's approved, no credits needed. Plus, you're going to enjoy the peace of mind coverage that includes free tire installation, free rotations, free flat repair, and more. Let the R&R Tire Express team pay half your first month on all in-stock tires and wheels when you request a quick quote at rnrtires.com. You can also call them 1-833-ROLL-NOW. Again, 1-833-ROLL-NOW. Give them a call or visit rnrtires.com. It's R&R Tire Express.
You guys are 100% right for criticizing the Cardinals. You're the voice of the fans. You give credit where credit is due, but you also point out the criticism that the fans want to say. You're the voice of the fans. Keep up the good work, fellas. Let's go Blues.
I appreciate that, Bart, and I know Carey and Jamie do as well. Yeah, we appreciate it. So, you know, essentially that's what we're trying to be. We're trying to be the voice of the fans. Now, we're not going to have your opinion on everything, which is
you
why
may not want us to be the voice.
Well, the Cardinals may not.
Completely fair.
Some of these people are probably, no, don't you speak for me.
Speak for me, you sons of.
I've heard some of the crap you say.
Yeah, no, that's
Carey.
totally fair. That's totally fair. So we try. Yeah, you may not have the same opinions as we do, which is why you got the Air Comfort Service text line to text in and say, you know, you miserable piece of crap, I don't like your take, Anthony. I appreciate it.
Tell us when we're wrong.
Yeah.
Which is more often than when you tell us when we're right.
Typically.
I'm okay with that.
We love
it's
you, though.
fine. It's an opinion.
Fine to be
right.
right.
It's your opinion. It's our opinion. You don't have to agree with everything. I have learned, though, the text line, and this is just in general, some people don't listen well. So you may say something, and then they repeat it to you, like, that's not what I said.
Yeah,
At all.
it does happen.
Selective listening.
It's like the the game of telephone when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And it make your way around, and by the time it gets to the end, it's something completely different.
Right.
I feel like that happens sometimes with our listeners, where we say something, and from our microphone to their ear holes,
It changes.
It changes.
Yeah. The wording, I don't know. It's weird.
I'm reminded of the Bill Burr stand-up when somebody yelled at him, and he goes, "Did you just see what happens there? I said something, and then it got into his ear hole, got around into his brain, went through his whole childhood, and then came out the other ear, and it was completely different than what I said."
Pretty much.
The best, man. All right, we do have other mic drops that we're going to play, including Sweet Voice James is who we call him. James, great listener, we appreciate him. But guys, Lars Nootbaar returns tonight. What do you think the lineup is going to look like? We're going to play the lineup game later because it's a later start time. It's 8:40 is the first pitch. What do you think? Because Lars is going to be in the lineup. Carey, what's your first crack?
My first initial thought is, and again, I don't know that this is what you wanted, but you're probably going to have Victor Scott still in center field. If he's here, he's playing. I don't see a scenario where he's sitting on the bench. Mm-hmm. If he's on the bench, he's going to be back in Memphis. So he's probably playing in center field, which means Lars is in left field, which means Brendan Donovan is where? Because he's going to play. And so are you going to put him at second base and now you got Gorman out? Or are you going to put him at DH and either Herrera or Contreras is out? So someone that we've seen or that we want to see have success is probably not going to be playing tonight, because as long as Victor Scott, in my opinion, is on the roster, he's playing. They're going to give him as much rope as possible to say, hey, kid, we want you to figure it out. We want you to do – your defense is stellar. We trust you out there. You got to hit at some point. But if he's here, he's playing. And so someone else is not going to be playing. There's just not enough positions for everyone to be in the game tonight.
Yeah, I agree. If Victor Scott is on your roster, he's got to be playing.
Yeah.
He's a young guy. He's not tuckered out. He doesn't need a day off his feet.
Right.
Now, I could see the Cardinals giving him a day, not because he's tired or anything like that, but like a refocus day. Like, go work on some extra things that day, get out in the outfield or get out of the batting cage, get in the video room. That is something normal that happens with young players. You get a day off, especially Major League Baseball. Like in football, you have a whole week to prepare.
Right.
The young guy can get with the coaching staff. Hockey, you've got a couple of days in between most of the time. Baseball, it's every single day almost. So I could see at some point maybe giving him a break, not because he's fatigued, just because they want to continue to develop him in the right way, and he might need a little pause and a little extra work. But otherwise, he's playing.
This will also be interesting because Ollie Marmol, we'll find out what he's prioritizing right now too. Because you got Victor Scott, he's not hitting, but the error notwithstanding, the other day he's playing very well defensively. So what does Ollie prioritize with Newt back? I think Newt will be fine in center field for a little while. But what do you put Scott on the bench? Do you have him in center field? Because if you have him on the bench, you're not prioritizing defense then. Your best defensive lineup based on what your roster is.
And you're not getting him better. So maybe if it's one day, if it's today, which I don't think it was because they had a day off yesterday.
Yeah.
So, you didn't travel. I think they traveled. Did they say they traveled today?
No, they did. They traveled yesterday.
They traveled yesterday. So either way, you had a day off. So you're well rested. You got time. I think he's in the lineup tonight. We'll find out here shortly, but I think he's in the lineup tonight, which means Ivan Herrera may not be in the lineup because Wilson Contreras they have 87 million reasons for why Wilson Contreras is going to play every day. Or
and
pretty much
hitting.
every day. Yes.
Yeah.
And I like him.
Right.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he is.
He's a good player.
It's easy to
He's competitive.
justify it.
He's hitting.
And he's getting paid a lot of money. Mm-hmm. You don't sit those guys on the bench. You don't. Unless they're injured, which he said he's good to go. He's at least batting. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this out. Again, the more people that come back healthy, it's great for the team. But there are going to be some decisions that have to be made as to who's in, who's out, and why.
Yeah.
I think Brendan Donovan has earned the right to play every single day because of the start he's had so far this season. He's going to play every day. Top of the lineup, I'm okay with it. Let's go. He's going to get on base. You got your big fellas coming in, hopefully to drive him in. There we go. But once Dylan Carlson comes back, is he in center? What does it all play out? How does it play out? Tommy Edman. It's going to be a lot of questions that need to be answered.
And you're going to have to get reps for those guys. Like, you really can't justify Nootbaar, Carlson, Edman especially. You can't justify not playing them when they come back. You can't be like, well, he needs a little break. No, he's been hurt for like 3 weeks.
Right.
He needs to play. And when those guys start to come back like, in a row here, especially if Carlson comes back. Like, Victor Scott will have to be sent to Memphis for some development because
If he's not hitting, yeah.
he's not hitting.
Yeah.
His defense is great. There's no taking that away from him, but the offense will have to play a little bit at some point. He doesn't have to be Mike Trout,
right?
But he's got to be more than what he is currently.
Right. All right. 618 called us out on not playing any mic drops yesterday. So why don't we hear the 618's mic drop? But first, 618 also left us another text message via the Air Comfort Service text line.
It's a hell of a day for us.
So the 618 said, I missed the end of the show. You were probably talking football or college basketball, and I checked out.
Highly doubt
A
it.
couple things.
Highly doubt
Hang on.
it.
A couple things. One, I would never let us talk college basketball at the end of the show. There is absolutely no way. I'll donate one segment every so often, only when the tournament is on. Apart from that, I push him back.
He's ready to fight if we go too far in the weeds in college basketball.
College basketball, start
But
talking about.
I don't blame you. NBA
the backup
now,
guard for Illinois. I'm like, no, we're not going there, Carey.
If we could get some NBA talk, I'd be okay.
Yeah. That's
We
good.
don't get NBA talk.
I have a podcast for that. You go
I
start a
admit,
podcast.
yeah.
You and Jackson.
That'd actually be pretty good.
We should.
Jamie's basically telling you, not happening. Go
That's
ahead.
fine. It's a great idea. Just not here.
Now to
From
the
2 to
618's mic drop.
Hey boys, well, it's pretty easy. I used to believe in Army a lot, but more than Mo. But after not signing Petrangelo, after not trading, being aggressive enough to get Matthew Tkachuk, and not being able to trade Krug last year, I'm losing faith. You know, the window was supposed to be 3 to 5 years and building this team and doing all that. Well, that just fell flat on its face. And, well, Mo don't care. He can say what he wants to say on the first show and stuff like that about how he has sleepless nights, but I don't believe a word he says. He's lied to the fan base enough, and he doesn't really care about us as a fan base. So, but him and Army, Mo and Army, to me are kind of the same. Just get by, barely get in, and hope to win. I want both my teams to build juggernauts, not just be ho-hum.
So if I can address just the Blues part of it, a couple things. Army did say the window is 3 to 5 years. This is what, year 2 of the retool? Last year wasn't really a retool. Halfway through last season, he said we're going to start a retool. So it's still a little bit premature, and I do think the team is taking steps in the right direction. Are they a juggernaut? No, they're not. I get it. And as far as the Torrey Krug thing goes, he did trade him. Torrey Krug said no, because he had a no-trade clause. So I guess it's Army's fault for giving him that no-trade clause. If so, then 618 is absolutely right. And the Petrangelo thing, I think we all know where everybody stands on that.
I think he was talking about the cup window, not the retool window.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know.
So, all right, so let's carry this over, because it's interesting about the cup window. If you really think about where they were, was it actually a window? We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN.
Seeing a lot of for sale signs going up in the yards out there right now. It is the season to sell your home. And if you are nervous about it or you're not sure about the asking price. If you're not sure of certain upgrades you should make before selling your home, if you have any questions at all, you have to call Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. There's so many reasons why. I mean, she's the best in the business. She's been in the business for such a long time. She also has a database with thousands of ready buyers that are there able to purchase your home, and that drives a lot more traffic to your listing. It certainly creates a higher demand and maybe more money for you at the end of it when you're closing at the table with Gloria Liu. Gloria Liu also has an awesome option called guaranteed sales. That's where Gloria sits in your home with you and gets you to agree upon a sales price with her, or she buys it herself, and she executes all that in handwriting. So please, again, just pick up the phone, call Gloria Liu, tell her you heard Jamie talking about her, and that number is 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree upon the sales price as well as the possession date.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Steven Matz and the Cards go up against the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. Matz will be on the mound going up against Brandon Pfaadt. First pitch is at 8:40. We'll talk some Cardinals baseball throughout the show. We'll also have the lineup game later as well, so stay tuned for that. Also tonight, the Blues take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Pregame starts at 6 o'clock. Puck drop is at 7, and you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. The Blues are 3 points behind the Vegas Golden Knights for that final wild card spot in the West. Vegas does have a game in hand, however. We're going to continue our conversation from our last segment talking about the Blues, maybe get into some of the Cardinals, so stay tuned for that right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
doing mic drops, and the 618 had mentioned how the window, the championship window, should have been about 3 to 5 years after the Blues had won the Cup. Now, maybe this is just semantics, but it got me thinking, was it actually a championship window, considering that they were in dead last at the All-Star break? They weren't built necessarily. They were built maybe to be a playoff team, but I don't think anybody viewed that team going in that year, Jamie, as one that could win the Cup. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I'd say you're right.
There was still some one-year contract, the one-year deals on that roster. I don't think that was like, hey, window's open, baby. Like the Braves window is open. The Dodgers window is always open.
Yeah.
The Carolina Hurricanes window is open. I don't look at the Blues and say, well, the window's open, but they did win a cup.
Yeah.
That was more of a, man, that was an epic run. Nobody really saw coming. Hell, they didn't even have Jordan Binnington as their goaltender until halfway through the season. So I don't know how you can say that was a championship window. It's wide open 3 to 5 years.
So I think,
am I wrong on that?
Yes.
Okay. Yes and no. Yes and no. You're right in the fact that the window was like, nobody talked about the window at that point, ish. But then following the Cup win, the window was open. If that makes any sense. Because you fielded the exact same team the next season, except you had Justin Falk was the only addition to your team. And you had 30 wins. You were first in the Western Conference heading into the bubble. You were absolutely a Cup favorite to repeat again. And then the whole COVID bubble situation, which I told you, I walked and navigated that whole thing in Edmonton and realized just how awful that must have been.
Yeah.
Now, other teams played, other teams won, somebody won the championship that year. So their team obviously was mentally tougher or got through it better, however it is. But then the following year, again, like then the blocks started to crumble a little bit. That's where you had the Pietrangelo thing. And like the window should have been open for 3 to 4 years. Like the Cup year plus 2 to 3 more years. For a team to be considered contenders and next year to be a repeat, that window's open.
All right. Marsh, you said no point blankly.
Yeah, he was mad.
Yeah, no, that's exact. Jamie took the words right out of my mouth. They were the best team in the Western Conference the following year, and then COVID hits, and then you get rid of Pietrangelo, and then every single year after that, you were getting rid of at least one player for the most part from that Cup team. So you went from having the window open to basically either shattering the window or just slamming it shut inch by inch.
Yeah.
So,
and you can blame whoever you want at that point, whether it's players that just didn't play well or that walked or management that didn't get people signed or made bad trades or whatever it is. The window came down quickly.
So the Cardinals are in Arizona to play the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks window is clearly open. They won a pennant. They won a pennant last year.
But it also
I see what you're saying. No, he's basically saying a team
unless they're the best team in the West this upcoming year.
No, but the season isn't over yet.
I got a hold of you in a second.
So what he's saying is the Diamondbacks.
I know what he's saying, Carey.
Surprised everyone.
All right, so their window's open.
Got to the World Series. They didn't win it like the Blues did.
Are they dominating? Their division?
It's still early in the season.
Still early in the season.
Second week of the season.
So, hang on, you two. It's not fair to make the comparison.
World Star!
We're going to have another one in here today. Chairs are going to be flying. It's not fair to say that yet. It's not, because I just gave you an example of the Blues window being open because they were first in the Western Conference heading into the ball. 70 games into the season would be the equivalent of like 140 games into this season, 145 games, and the Diamondbacks are first in their division and first in the National League, the best team.
But wouldn't it have to...
That would mean the window's open.
But wouldn't the window being open, in my opinion, would have more to do with the roster, not necessarily where you're at in the division. It'd be the roster.
Okay, fine. Then the window was definitely open for the Blues. Absolutely.
And now it's closed.
See how it is.
So the window for the Diamondbacks is open then.
Are you comparing the Diamondbacks roster to the Blues roster back then? Because if you are, the Diamondbacks roster falls short.
Still.
Because they didn't win the championship.
But my point originally was the Blues won the Cup out of nowhere.
It wasn't really
and then everybody's like... They're in last place. They fired the coach.
You're cherry picking
Bennington.
that.
I'm not cherry picking that.
It because
Bennington was playing for the Boston Goofballs at one point.
It was the Providence Goofballs, Anthony.
Okay.
They were predicted to be a playoff team, one of the top 3 in their division before the season started. So then the wheels kind of fell off early. So it's not like they were this dog crap team and then, oh my goodness, just came out of nowhere. Like the Diamondbacks were nowhere predicted to be a playoff team last year. They ended up being a playoff team and heck, getting into the World Series, and hats off to them. But I honestly don't believe this is apples to apples right now.
But what you're saying is essentially, correct me if I'm wrong.
I have.
And maybe Marsh is saying it more than you are, Jamie. Because they won, the window becomes open. And my point is the Diamondbacks won a pennant, but nobody's saying the Diamondbacks window is open. So
I'm more alluding to the fact that they followed up the Stanley Cup championship season with another Stanley Cup championship type season the next year. So to be determined with the Diamondbacks. Like, if the Blues had won in 2019 and then the next year they're middle of the pack, that was a one-off. But they weren't. They were the most dominant team in the Western Conference heading into the bubble. So if we're going to do the Diamondbacks comparison, Diamondbacks get to the World Series, which, by the way, they didn't win it. So that's one difference. But secondly, are they the most dominant team in the National League right now?
No.
So it's not really apples to apples.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, and I understand your point in it.
Yeah.
Totally get it. But I just don't feel like it's a direct comparison.
I still wouldn't put the Blues. Maybe I got some revisionist history going on here, but I still wouldn't put the Blues in the same category as I would the top teams in leagues. For example, the Chiefs window wide open. The Blues in 2019, nobody thought they were the Chiefs. The Braves right now, window wide open. Nobody thinks the Blues in thought the Blues in 2019 were the Braves. So this is my point. So do we have a window?
They were certainly the next tier. Like, they were the tier of, like, could be dangerous, especially when they got O'Reilly, Perron, Bozak, that defensive core. Like, they
could be dangerous is a lot different, though, than, man, this is one of the best rosters in the NHL. Look at what they built.
They were, though, until they lost Pietrangelo, Gunnarsson, Bouwmeester, Steen. They lost 4 guys, right? 3 or 4 guys right there after the COVID year. And that decimated that roster. So, like, the window that we had open heading out of the Stanley Cup was open for 2 to 4 years, 2 to 5 years. And then everybody went away. The key people of your roster.
That happens with any championship team. I mean, guys get older, contracts change, contracts come up. It generally happens. It may have happened a lot quicker for the Blues. I think that's what you're saying. Like, it just
all 3 to 4
of those 2 years later, and the team is shifted. But I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think when you're talking about a championship window, you're talking about multiple championships where you won one in 19, and in that span, you should get 1 to 2 more.
Right.
In a 5-year, 3 to 5 year span.
If we're really going down that road, we go back 2 years before 2019. The Blues were in the Western Conference Championship. They lost to the San Jose Sharks, but then was that the beginning of the window? Maybe. Because they went to the Western Conference Championship. The next year, they missed the playoffs by 1 point.
Yeah.
Then they win the Stanley Cup. Then they're first in the Western Conference again. Like, maybe if we bring it backwards, it actually makes more sense.
Yeah. And then the championship is in the middle of the run,
I guess,
as opposed to the start of it and expecting more after.
I guess what I'm ultimately saying is a championship window is based on your roster, like how good your roster is, not necessarily how well you played in an individual season. Because I think there are individual seasons where you're like, holy crap, that team came out of nowhere. The Diamondbacks. I don't think the Diamondbacks have been building something for a while, and now, boom, the window is open. Again, this might be all semantics. The Bills, we talk about the Bills championship window. They were clearly building something. And then there was like playoffs. Okay, first round exit. Then they got to the divisional round. Then the AFC champion. They're building something. Championship win. Now it's closed, right? Because now you're taking a part of that roster apart. The Blues dead last in that. We're talking about tearing that thing down to the studs at the trade deadline. They had this epic run. We love it. Now I don't think that automatically qualifies for a championship window. If it does, epic failure then. Especially if based on what you said, Jamie, in that the championship window actually started 2 years prior. Epic failure then.
The way I look at it is when Doug Armstrong said, the championship window is open. That was after the Stanley Cup. That was in terms of like we have a chance to win multiple Stanley Cups, and they did. Heading into the next season, they absolutely could have won another Stanley Cup and went back-to-back, much like Tampa Bay ended up doing. However, they hit COVID. You don't play for months. And then, like Jamie said, you're cooped up in a bubble.
Yeah.
They just didn't play well. They've never really played well, at least against the Vancouver Canucks. So they end up losing. And then you lose Steen, Gunnarsson, Bouwmeester. They lost him midway through the year. You get Scandella. But then you lose Pietrangelo. And then you start losing other guys. You lose Perron. You lose O'Reilly. But it's not like they weren't making the playoffs.
Lost Sundqvist.
You lost Sundqvist. You lost key pieces of that team.
Realistically, if we encompass everything that we've just said, you have to almost look at the point where the roster that had a window open got dismantled and the window closed
really quickly.
So then where do you look for, at that point, where do you place the blame?
Doug Armstrong. And I think that, honestly, was the 618's point in the mic drop. That's why he's saying what he did, where it's like once Pietrangelo left and all the guys that you just mentioned, he has lost faith in Army. So I guess as we come full circle here, what he said, what the 618 said in that mic drop, you, Marsh, and you, Jamie, absolutely agree with him then. My point was like, I don't, was it much of a championship window? You weren't necessarily building, but by your guys' standards, yes, you were. So EF, baby.
I think that
epic failure.
I think this team has a chance to win another Stanley Cup the following year, and they lost 3 guys by way of not what we think, right? Like, oh, we didn't sign that guy. Steen had to retire because of an injury. So did Gunnarsson, and then Bouwmeester did as well. Like, that's 3 huge pieces of your team.
Yeah, that was no choice of the management.
And so Army then has to find ways to supplement those pieces. And then if you want to criticize that he couldn't get the right players to supplement those guys that they lost, then sure, you can blame him. But there's a reason why this team isn't where they're at right now, because it's hard to replace guys like Jay Bouwmeester, Carl Gunnarsson, Alexander Steen. It's just tough.
It really is. And Steener was on this last road trip, and I got to talk with him quite a bit and hang out and whatnot. And it's just like, you just see in talking to him just how different the culture was with those guys. With him and Petro, and they didn't always see eye to eye. But guess what? They brought out the best in each other. And when push came to shove, they had each other's back, and they forced the group to play the right way.
Sure.
Carl Gunnarsson, Mr. Vanilla Ice Cream, he had a lot to do with the stability of what went on in that locker room. Jay Bouwmeester was the old veteran guy that people bounced ideas off of. Didn't say much, but when he spoke, everybody listened, and then he backed it up with his play. You did, with those 3 guys in particular, just through retirement and injury, you lost a lot of what you had in that locker room.
Yeah, you're right. Well said. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Another manager recently criticized one of his players for a mistake on the base pass. Yet nobody at MLB Network is criticizing the manager. Find that interesting. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Cheap, fun.
Let's get dirty, St. Louis. Dirt Cheap is St. Louis's one-stop party shop. They have a fantastic selection of all your favorite beers. If it's red wine, white wine, they have got it all. They also have fantastic spirits. We're talking the rum category, the flavored vodkas, and of course, my favorite, the bourbons. They got so many great choices with the bourbons as well, and the rye section. It really is awesome. And let's not forget that Cinco de Mayo, right around the corner, Dirt Cheap is loading up with Modelo, Corona. They've got, again, all the best tequilas available, and they've got that margarita mix. They even got that pre-made margarita mix, whatever you're looking for to get you ready for that holiday. They also have an amazing app that is so easy to download. You download it and it speaks for itself. It's so easy. You get on there and anything that they have in their stores, you can find on the app. And the beauty of it all is you can use the app to have it delivered to your home. So on your way home from work or before you leave work, you're wanting to have a little something at night. No problem. Get on the app, order it, get home, and they bring it to you. And now you can really relax. My friends over at Dirt Cheap, they do it right all the time, and you're going to love everything about them. Please get over and visit them. And remember to have fun, but be careful out there.
We got some news here that we can only describe as disheartening.
Yeah.
Jamie, why don't you go ahead and read a text from our dear listener, Janet?
Yeah, I will. She writes to us at 2:52 today.
Thank you for the time.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, official provider of Rolex jewelry. She says, I run into people who listen to 101.1, and they ask me why I don't leave mic drops anymore. Mm-hmm. And I tell them I do, but they don't play them. That broke my heart.
Marsh.
Andrew, you're fired.
Keep her hold on. No, Jamie, let I remind you.
What?
that Carey and you don't know how to run the board, and I have not run a board in 20 years. So, Marshy,
We got Ryder.
you're hired.
We got Ryder. He'll come in. He's
It's
fine.
Friday.
See, Ryder agrees.
Ryder worked his huevos rancheros off to get off that board finally, and he's doing fantastic. Yeah,
Missing it, though, a little bit.
I don't think he is.
He likes to fondle all those buttons.
Hey, you can do that on the keyboard. Yeah. Anyways, let's focus again. Marsh, you do a fantastic job. An absolutely fantastic job.
You're on notice.
It is never okay to miss mic drops from Janet, but I know you're working real hard.
Yeah, so whatever I say here,
You just Trojan horse that.
whatever I say here, I'm just not going to win. So
That's a very mature response.
I'll say it. I'll say it. But I hate to do this. I hate to say it. Janet, we just got a mic drop from Janet about a couple seconds ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it is the first mic drop from Janet. I went back through the mic drops. The first one that I have seen during our show. So she does send mic drops throughout the day.
What?
In
And
Marshy's.
so the other shows do not play
There
them,
you
but
go.
I have not seen one that has come out at a timestamp from 2 to 6.
In Marshy's defense, she does
on.
say I run into people who listen to 101.1. I mean, this station plays from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Janet, what is going on here?
So
Janet's ours. She shouldn't be leaving mic drops on any other show.
if she is, then that's why they're not not us.
And shame on them
So
for
yesterday,
not playing them.
Janet sent a mic drop at 7:22 a.m. Last time I checked, we were not on the radio, and I was not.
Yeah, Marsh isn't even.
awake.
Marsh is a good 3 hours away from even thinking about getting up.
Wednesday, 10:43. Wednesday, 10:25.
That's the balloon party.
Yeah. Piddles doesn't know how to work the mic drops.
No, nor does he care to.
No, and Rockio, he had to get in rock and roll, and he couldn't play the mic drop.
Tuesday, 12:22.
Janet, that's
not us
literally every other show but ours.
Tuesday, 12:11. Tuesday, 12:08. Tuesday, 11:54.
Well, it sounds like it's not a 101 ESPN fan, but more of a BK, T-Bone, and Alex Ferrario fan. Wow. Okay.
Just a reminder to Janet, fast lane is 2 to 6.
I didn't want to do it. It broke my heart to
No,
even,
you're right,
to
too.
even
You're
throw
right,
out the
too.
timestamp.
Nobody's safe,
We're
even
gonna play.
Janet.
I'm going to play Janet's mic drop that just came in.
Please do. Okay.
So we'll get that in. And it was about the previous segment that we just had.
Okay.
All right.
We never got to that, so why don't we do that next on 101 ESPN?
The NHL, the NBA, have got a lot of great games coming down the stretch. The race is heating up for the playoffs. And then, of course, you've got the playoffs, which are awesome to watch. And right now, new customers over to FanDuel get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. Carey?
Yep, Jamie, that's $150, win or lose. Bet on everything from slap shots to home runs to slam dunks, all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. You can bet on who's going to score first, how many goals they're going to score, who's going to score the first basket, or who's going to score the most points. Anthony, it's simple. Just go to FanDuel.
You ever do the first basket of the game, Carey? It's pretty fun. Get it to him. What are you doing? Don't shoot. Pass. That's always fun. It's all available at FanDuel. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/fast. Again, FanDuel.com/fast. And then you can make every first bet an automatic win, courtesy of FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Must be 21 or older and present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus distributors not withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You keep saying we lost O'Reilly and we lost Petrangelo and we lost those guys. We didn't lose them. The contracts were given to players that didn't deserve them, hadn't earned them, and still haven't played up to them. And because of that, and because of the cap, we weren't able to sign Tkachuk. We didn't keep O'Reilly. We didn't keep Patrick Maroon. That's where it started when we lost Patrick Maroon. He was a guy with guts. He would sacrifice himself and stand in front of the goal and protect the goaltender. You're just missing the point altogether. You keep saying we lost him. We didn't lose him. We just didn't re-sign him. And Perron should have stayed on the team as well. No, the contracts that were given out to those young kids is the mistakes that were made.
There you go, Janet bringing that Spitfire again. I think that when we mean lose them, we understand. We understand what.
You know what? I like Janet holding us accountable.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's never a bad thing.
Very true. Yep.
Never
Words
bad.
do matter,
They
guys.
do.
Words matter.
Be better, fellas.
Be
You
better.
Too.
Me
Marshy's
and
good.
Jamie.
You too.
Yeah. Jamie and I
don't do
Oh, I'm getting just absolutely crushed on the text line
I'm on
right
your
now.
side, Marshy. They are ripping you to shreds, but it's
Why?
okay.
What happened?
And they
It's
didn't
not
like that
Marshy's fault. She's listening to other shows.
No, they didn't like that he pointed it out.
Brought it up.
Yeah, they didn't want him to point it out.
I'm sorry. Hold on here. I'm sorry. If we're going to talk culture as much as we do and not have our own set of standards and culture in the fast lane, then I don't know what we're doing here. And Jamie, Carey, what's rule number one? Don't look at
safe.
you. Oh.
What'd you say?
That's off the air. Off the air. Rule number one. Rule number one on the air.
Huh?
Rule number one on the air.
Nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe, Marsh.
It's true.
Including us.
Yeah,
You know
Including
that.
Janet.
Including
Like us.
Janet.
clearly.
Yeah. But we do get, Janet, what you mean by losing them.
Rule number 2 should be legends never die.
It's not more of a rule. It's just a way of life.
Just a way of life. Yeah, that's
Tattoos
true.
available soon.
No
Thank you,
doubt.
636.
Yeah. Was that a text?
It was a text, yes.
Our listeners are incredible. So that's
They pick up on everything.
peek behind the curtain. We started doing that in breaks where we just slip that in and try to fool our co-host here. Then we started bringing it on air. I can't believe they picked it up that quickly. Well done. Well done. All right. So this was a great tweet by somebody that I imagine is local, at DadZooLou. This was the tweet. I'm waiting for all of baseball Twitter to shred Washington, i.e. Ron Washington, for publicly attacking Joe Adell like they ripped Marmol for publicly calling out Tyler O'Neill. Listen to Ron Washington, who's managing the Angels, talk about a base running mistake that Joe Adell made a couple of days ago.
It's obvious he overran the bag. You know, we're down 4-2 right there in the 8th inning. If you're going to decide to get that bag, you got to get the bag. I don't care what kind of jump you got to get that bag, simply because of the situation of the game. It is a teaching moment. Hopefully that will never happen again, because when you actually look at it, it was embarrassing to all of us. I know Joe didn't mean that in that manner, but we down 4-2, and it was a teaching moment.
Okay. Ollie Marmol was ripped to shreds by the national media. Ripped to shreds. You can't do that. You can't call out a player in public like that. Shame. Shame on you, Ollie.
That's why when they did that, I didn't care. Because as a coach or as a manager, you talk to your players and then you have conversation. Like, that's a conversation. Everybody knows that's a terrible mistake. We've sat in film room and dreaded watching what was about to come up. Like, oh, God.
I'd hate it. I'd see myself on the ice. I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, God, I hope this is not on there. Like, it's like a horror movie that only you know what is about to happen.
Yeah.
And so, as a player, you know when you made a mistake. as a coach, your job is to make sure your players and your team knows that these mistakes are unacceptable. And I have no problem with what Ron Washington did. I had no problem with what Ali Marmol did. Neither one of them. It's part of the game, and it's part of being a coach. It's part of being a player. Mm-hmm. Your job is to take care of your business as a player. Your job as a manager and as a coach is to make sure your players do their job to the best of their ability.
And do you think that Ron Washington isn't being as criticized because he's got so many years in the majors?
Possibly.
Like, is there a bias there?
Probably.
Because Ali Marmol, the young manager,
he's making a mistake.
Never played in the big leagues and whatever.
Yeah.
And then Ron Washington, who is like a god in Major League Baseball. So many players love playing for him and all the other jobs he's had throughout the time of his career. Now he gets on there and be like, yeah, I mean, it's just truth, facts from him.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
What the hell are we doing here?
Yeah.
And whether Ron Washington Trojan horsed it a little more than Ali did, because he did he brings up that that's just embarrassing.
Right.
But then he says, but you know.
It's a teaching moment.
It's a teaching moment. So he softens it a little bit, basically sticks the knife in, then doesn't twist it right away, lets it sit, then twists it a little bit, then twists it back, like, just kidding, pulls it out a little and stabs him again. It's like, are we really hurting him? No, I don't know.
Right.
Whereas Ali just was very direct. And I think Ali's, here's the thing. That was a base running mistake. Not having effort is a choice.
There you go.
And that's the difference for me, is I can have a player, and I had Jimmy Roberts. I talk about Jimmy all the time. Jimmy Roberts used to say, if you're going to make a mistake because you're working too hard, because you're trying too hard. Don't give me a mistake because you're lazy or you're not paying attention to detail. So in this situation, Ron Washington calling his player, it's a mistake. He was trying to he overran the bag, dumb play, whatever. But it's way different when you have a player that just could have been home.
Right.
But he took his time around the bases. That's worse. Don't give me lack of effort.
I agree.
Yeah.
And Carey, you said it. I really want to echo this. This is not about Washington. I had no problem with what Washington said. You know why? It's his team. Yep. He can talk to his team however he wants to talk about it. But Ali got so much criticism for what he said, and people never address. They said he should have talked to Tyler O'Neill. How did you know he didn't?
Correct.
In fact, we know for a fact that a lot of the veterans on the team said thank you.
Yep.
They thanked Ali for addressing it because it wound up being a situation in spring training that was an issue.
Because if you allow that, as Jamie said, it's not a mental error, it was an effort error. Like when you are not trying, Tyler O'Neill was running probably about 70%. We've seen him run faster, and so we all know that wasn't top end speed for him, and that is unacceptable. The mistake of overrunning a base, slide, slow down, you're in safely. Don't be an idiot. Don't make dumb mistakes that's going to cost us potentially a run.
But maybe he was being too greedy, right? Which is fine. It'd be worse if he didn't get to the bag because he was running too slow.
Well, he just overran it. Like he forgot that it was second base instead of first base. Like it just slipped his mind and got tagged out. O'Neill was jogging. He was essentially not top end speed, and you need that run in that moment to score, and he wasn't giving great effort.
And this I know for a fact. Ali had this discussion with Tyler O'Neill before.
Correct.
Right, then
I went digging all of last year, found a couple people internally. It's a fact that Ali had this discussion with Tyler O'Neill before, and when it came out in the media was secondary. More frustration based on the fact that he hadn't responded to the personal conversation that they had initially.
If you're wondering, like, hey, well, I remember kind of what Ali said, but why don't you guys play the audio? Well, here it is. Here's Ali a year ago on O'Neill.
We got a lot of guys playing really hard. That's not our style of play as far as the effort around in the bag there. It's unacceptable. Yeah. That's pretty clear, right? All right, good. Bottom line is that's not his judgment. That's why we have a coach standing over there. Your effort's 100% until you're told not to. Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with that?
Nothing. I didn't have a problem with it then.
How is that any different than what Ron Washington just said?
I agree.
There's no difference.
Ron Washington said it was embarrassing. Ali said it was unacceptable.
Yeah. Right. I'll tell you the difference. MLB Network hammered Ali for a week and are still... You heard, what's his face, Chris Mad Dog Russo talk about the incident after Tyler O'Neill hit his 14th million home run of the season.
I wish he'd have done that here.
You know, in fairness,
like 4 years ago.
In fairness to Tyler O'Neill, he has figured it out. He doesn't have to run the bases very hard when he hits home runs.
But he does. He ran the bases harder when he hit a home run than he did on that particular play.
Probably. And your job and when you're rounding the bases, you're supposed to be full speed until you're told to stop.
He said the coach is there for a reason.
That's what he's there for. You're supposed to be rounding the base, picking up your third base coach. Is he saying go? It's not your decision to say, oh, I'm not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
You get thrown out and your coach is telling you to go, well,
yeah, we'll deal with the coach.
He misjudged it. Yeah, we
what
made
were
a
you
mistake.
seeing? Right.
But, I would, again, Mike Tomlin would always say, I'd rather say whoa than sick 'em.
Right.
That's a statement that has always stuck with me. Mm-hmm. I'd rather say whoa, slow down, than if I got to say go get him, I got the wrong guy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well said. All right, see you Fastlane on 101 ESPN 312. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Does Robert Thomas need more help to become a 100-point player? It's a fascinating question. We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
You don't go out.
Auto Centers Nissan is thrilled to tell you that their Fresh Start program has just started, and it runs through the end of April. So you got more than a half a month to get out to Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum and take advantage of these specifically designed to make upgrading into a new car easier and more affordable. And when I say that, I mean the Fresh Start program. You have now until the end of April to take advantage of the Fresh Start program. So what that means is they've got incentives on select new Nissan vehicles, including one thing, 0% APR on payment terms all the way up to 84 months. They get another thing up to $5,000 off MSRP. Another incentive to you, no down payment needed and 3 months of no payments. You can give your wallet a break and also keep your tax money in your pocket. As always, all new Nissans at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum come with their exclusive lifetime warranty as well as their 30-day return promise. At Auto Centers Nissan, they don't just sell cars. They create unforgettable experiences, one happy customer at a time. I should know, we purchased our pre-owned Pathfinder from Auto Centers Nissan, and their dealership boasts over 700 vehicles all in one location. It is truly your ultimate car buying destination. Check them out online at autocentersnissan.com. When you head down to Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan. Robert Thomas need more help to become a 100-point player? Kind of a fascinating question. I would say yes. I mean, you're talking about points here. It's almost like Jamie and Carey, RBI in some respects, right? Like, why doesn't this guy have more RBI? Well, the guys in front of him need to get on base. If they don't get on base, even if you hit a home run, that's one RBI.
Are you an RBI or RBIs guy?
Yeah, I'm an RBI.
I say RBI.
I say RBIs.
It's already runs batted in.
but
it's not runs batted in.
I
It just sounds
was
better, though.
RBI, 16 RBI feels a little uncomfortable.
Weird. Yeah.
It just feels uncomfortable
Like,
for me.
If you want to do it your way, I think
Well,
say 16 runs batted in. Don't use RBI.
No, I don't want to.
Well, then you can't criticize the way we do it.
You could say ribbies.
I'm not criticizing ribbies. Ribbies. That's fine. All right.
It's cool. It's hip.
You want to be a ribbies guy, you need guys on base in front of you. So if you're going to be a 100-point player, yeah, you need more around you.
Some guys.
That's my take, at least. What's yours, Jamie?
I'm glad you asked, Anthony. So, look, Robert Thomas, if you look at 100-point players in the NHL, to your point, Anthony, they have a supporting cast.
Yeah.
Nathan McKinnon has Mikko Rantanen, and he used to have Gabriel Landeskog.
Pretty good.
They've got Cale Makar on defense on that power play. Pretty good players. Kucherov. Now, he's a bit of an anomaly this year because he's 40 points ahead of the next guy on his hockey club,
Wow.
which is rare. But he still has Stamkos, Braden Point. Like, he's got some guys around him. And who else is at the top of it? Matthews has Marner, he has Tavares. Like, he has some guys. So to kind of bring it all together here, it would be nice if Robert Thomas had a 40-goal scorer on his wing, or another guy that was a 80 to 85 point type guy. It would also help this season. Right now, as it sits, Robert Thomas is at 83 points, I think. I have to pull it up here.
Yeah, I think so.
Keep talking.
I think it is. But my point is that
83 points.
Yeah, if the power play hadn't been so abysmal for that first quarter of the season, like, he could easily have another 10 points right now. He'd be sitting at 93 points. So he could really, in essence, be a 100-point player this year with, I don't want to say a lack of supporting cast, because there's some good players on this team, but there's not an elite player with him.
Yeah.
Jordan Kyrie's a 70-point player. That's good. But imagine if you had another 85 to 100-point player on his line. So I think he's definitely got the ability to be a 100-point player. Can he be a perennial 100-point player? That'll depend on the supporting cast around him over the next 3 to 5 years.
Does that top line, and I know Zach Bulldog is playing top line minutes right now, does that top line look better if it's Thomas, Bulldog, and Neighbors? Is that a line that can get him over the 100-point threshold?
Well, I think it's pretty similar to what they got. I look at Neighbors and Braden Shen, and I think they're
similar,
pretty much carbon copy. Jake Neighbors has a little more jump in his step right now because he's younger, but ultimately, I think Jake Neighbors is a 60 to 65 point player, which is what Braden Shen has kind of been throughout his career. Okay. So instead of worrying about Neighbors and Shen, you need a guy like, if you could put a Kachuk on that wing.
Matthew?
Or Brady, for that matter. If you could find a player like that, like Sam Reinhart right now down in Florida. He's an unrestricted free agent, and he's got over 50 goals. If you put a guy like that, 1 on his line, 2 on his power play, that's a difference maker. That gets you to 100 points. Like, even Wayne Gretzky, with the amount of points that he scored in his career, which is phenomenal, early on in his career, he had Jari Kurri. Jari Kurri was a scoring machine.
I used to love Jari Kurri for some reason, man. That guy was fun to watch.
He was not fun to play against.
I can imagine.
Even I got him, at the tail end or mid to the late of his career, but he still was dangerous as a shooter. Mario Lemieux had, Jaromir Jagr around. He had Kevin Stevens. Eric Lindros had John LeClaire and Michael Renberg. Like, these guys all had a little group of players. Brett Hull had Adam Oates. It's kind of the way it goes.
Didn't Jari Kurri, did he wind up with the Rangers? That Rangers team that eventually, remember they built like the older team in the late 90s. They had Gretzky, they had Messier, they had...
That's the team I told you. Their power play.
Yeah, it was more.
Their payroll on the power play was more than our entire team with the Islanders.
Did Yari Curry make his way into that team,
I can't remember. He wasn't there when I was playing against him with the Islanders.
Yeah.
But they had Yager, they had Lindros, they had Messier, they had Brian Leach, they had all sorts.
Mike Richter.
Mike Richter, Rubber Man himself.
That was a fun team, to say the least. I'm looking at their...
They were older, for sure.
Yeah, Adam Graves. Theo Fleury was on that team as well. I'm looking here.
Oh, yeah.
What year was it?
99, 2000.
No.
Yeah.
So we get a text here from Lisa, and Lisa has a hockey / sports question. She said, Jamie, does hockey have anyone on the bench running the team that never played the game at the highest level? Or is this just a baseball thing? No. Hockey has plenty of coaches that never played at the highest level. John Cooper, one of the most successful coaches right now, never played past junior hockey. He might have played Canadian University at some point, but never played. And he's won 3 Stanley Cups now. You go down the line, you got plenty of guys. Derek Lalonde in Detroit, he never played in the NHL. So I'm sure I could go through every team, and there's more than you'd think. The thing is that it's not that you've had to play at the highest level. It's that you've had to play the game at somewhat of a high level.
Yeah.
Like even guys like Mike Babcock, who came in and had good success. And of course, I'm not a huge fan, but he only played Canadian University. But he still played at a high enough level. So when you go through each and every team and you look at some of the coaching staff, yes, you have some Hall of Famers. Rod Brendamore on the bench tonight, coaching the Hurricanes. Patrick Waugh coaching the New York Islanders. You've got some guys that have played. Paul Maurice, I'd say he's a successful head coach.
I would say so, too.
Never played in the NHL. His career ended in junior hockey when it took a stick in the eye.
Oof.
So
we're getting a lot of Ken Hitchcock, too.
Yeah, Hitch.
That's a great one.
I would say NFL probably has the most head coaches that didn't play in the NFL. Like it's there
that's
are
interesting. Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans, right? Yeah. you think Brian Dayball?
No.
Artie Smith.
Yeah, Arthur Smith.
Artie Smith definitely did not.
Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDonald. Like there are.
Yeah.
It's more Todd Bowles, Robert Gerard Mayo, and D'Amico Ryans are the only 3 off the top of my head that I can say.
What's the Raiders guy?
Oh, and Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
I forgot about Antonio Pierce. Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell was like, he played in the NFL.
Vrabel's not coaching
he's not
anymore.
coaching right now.
Well, he's not currently coaching.
I don't think Raheem Morris played. No.
Jim Harbaugh did. I'm looking at these coaches now.
Did
Jim
John
Harbaugh.
play?
I don't think John did.
John didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan Campbell. You got Dan Campbell.
I forget him.
He could still play.
Dan Campbell, D'Amico Ryans, Doug Peterson. Let's see, Antonio Pierce, Jim Harbaugh, Gerard Mayo. That'd be 6.
Oh, Matt Eberflus. He must have played in the NFL.
No, he didn't. Todd Bowles didn't.
Todd Bowles did.
Did he?
Yeah.
What about what's his name in Miami?
Oh, that's right.
Did he play?
No.
Mike McDonald?
No.
He was a ball boy.
He was.
I know. At the highest level.
At the highest level. Darn right.
Somewhere.
That's what Jamie said. You got to do it at the highest level. That's one good question. I know, Lisa, it was kind of a pointed question.
Well, she backs it up. She goes, I wonder if they had to lead at their AAA, too. Like, all roads lead back to Ollie for
Very
Lisa.
true. Very true. Yeah.
That's the thing about like modern day head coaches, though. For the majority of them, there's a reason why they're in coaching now, because they just didn't have it at the highest level physically,
right?
But mentally, they know how to coach.
Well, Dunk used to say too, and Jamie, you've kind of echoed this point as well with Gretzky. Dunk used to say that the best players often didn't make the best managers because they just saw the game differently. Like maybe Albert could do it because Albert has the leadership and, he's just somebody that can communicate the game. But a lot of times, Gretzky's like, why didn't you pass it to him?
I can't. I couldn't see him. How did he not see that guy? Because the name on the back of his jersey isn't Gretzky.
Right. You can't coach me. But the players that that wind up being really good coaches got a lot of instruction along the way. All right, go ahead.
I was going to say we got a text from 816, Andy Reid. Andy Reid was pretty good at the punt pass kick.
He was. Yeah. Did you ever see that video? Oh, my God. Man, we got to pull that up. So, the punt, pass, and kick competitions? Yeah. Andy Reid participated one time when he was a kid, although it didn't look like he was a kid. He looked like an adult out there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys that was driving his car to Carey's game.
Right. What the hell is going on here?
Who is that? All right. More of your mic drops. We do have one from James, our guy James, who left us a mic drop yesterday on the Cardinals and the expectations and how they compare to the Blues, because we kind of got that criticism yesterday. So more of your mic drops on that conversation next on 101 ESPN.
Gentlemen, it's always fun to bet the NBA, but now FanDuel, they've got something great going on with TNT. And you can get a no-sweat same-game parlay from FanDuel every Thursday with TNT Thursdays. And it doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel, Carey, or already have an account.
Yep, you'll get bonus bets back if your same-game parlay doesn't win on any NBA on TNT game. NBA same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance to score a bigger payday, Anthony.
Yeah, these NBA on TNT games are dynamite.
There they are. I see what you did there.
Yeah, there we go. However you want to play, just head to FanDuel.com/fast to bet the NBA with a no-sweat same-game parlay with TNT Thursdays. Again, that's FanDuel.com/fast. Then you can play, live games, live betting, player props, who's going to win it all in the NBA this season. They've got it all at FanDuel. So make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 and older or older. Present in Illinois. Minimum 3-leg parlay required. Refund issued is not withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cards are back in action tonight, taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Steven Matz on the mound going up against Brandon Pfaadt. 8:40 first pitch. The Blues also in action tonight, going up against the Carolina Hurricanes. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7, and we'll have all the action for you right here on 101 ESPN. The Blues are 3 points behind the Vegas Golden Knights for that final wild card spot, and Vegas has a game in hand. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just go to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Yesterday we got the question, or maybe it was a statement that Jamie read off early on and say, hey, you know, you guys are kind of giving a free pass to the Blues, not meeting expectations, but all you guys do is dog on the Cardinals. First of all, shut your mouth when you're talking to us. Second of all, that was harsh, especially on a Friday. Carey liked it.
I did.
Hey, what's rule number 1?
Nobody's safe. Yep, no, good call on that, Marsh. But then we said, hey, why don't you leave us your mic drops? So open your mouth again, and why don't you leave us a mic drop? Let us know. Because Jamie posed a question, weren't the expectations higher for the Cardinals than the Blues coming into the season? And that kind of opened up a whole can of worms when, comparing the Cardinals to the Blues. Here's James, or otherwise known as Sweet Voice James.
Hey, guys. In regards to whether or not you're too optimistic or too pessimistic or always complaining or, as Anthony said, bitching about, how the Cardinals are and what those expectations are, I don't think you guys are too pessimistic or too snarky. I think what it comes down to is you're just telling the truth. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You're seeing the moves and the changes that the Cardinals are making and what Mo's telling you versus the changes the Blues make and what Army tells the fan base. And that's what it comes down to. I mean, there's no optimistic or pessimistic. I think you guys are real about it. Yeah, you're snarky, which makes the show more interesting and funny. But when it comes down to it, you're just telling the truth. I mean, yeah, I was excited about Sonny Gray too. Lance Lynn, I was interested because I missed having that passion and that fire. And then Kyle Gibson is Kyle Gibson. But when it comes down to it, I don't think it's necessarily we're too hard on this team or too hard on that thing. You're just real. And that's, maybe some people just can't handle the truth.
Well, James,
we can go home. You just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Nothing left to be said. Yeah, no, James, we appreciate it. We try to be balanced. And yeah, we do layer pretty thick layer of snark. No, that's just who we are.
They like it.
But ultimately, if you think about the expectations of the Cardinals, I'm with James. I was excited about Sonny Gray. Lance Lynn coming back, I understood it because it was that bulldog mentality, but you also kind of know what he is at this point. And Kyle Gibson, you're like, okay, another back-end starter. There was nothing outside of Sonny Gray that made you say, wow. There was nothing outside of Sonny Gray where you thought, you're really trying to close the gap between where you are and where the top teams are in the National League. I realize you're never going to spend like the Dodgers. I realize you're not a complete roster like the Braves. I get that. I'm not unrealistic. But when you say, we're good, got Gray, we got a couple back-end starters, let's go, boys, let's play some baseball games. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you're a championship caliber team. I'd be lying to you.
Would you have felt better if it was Sonny Gray? I think I've asked you this before. Sonny Gray and a Jordan Montgomery. Would that have been more along the lines of a team that you felt is actually putting forth the effort to not only win games, win the division, and potentially make a playoff run to a World Series?
I would quantify that, like those signings as, yeah, you're trying a lot harder than what we saw to close the gap between where you are now and where the top teams are in the league.
I just think we have, and when I say we, I'm talking about all of the the entire fan base, well, not the entire, but majority of the fan base, have a different view of what the Cardinals think where they are. That's why there was no sense of urgency. They signed Sonny Gray. They signed Gibson and Lance Lynn, signed Sonny Gray, and they felt like this is more than enough. Mm-hmm. And to give them credit, because we don't give them really credit. We do when they do a good job, but we haven't given them. They've done okay. Sonny Gray was outstanding in his first start. Mm-hmm. Kyle Gibson had a really good start and a really bad one, but he was able to push through and finish what he'd started. Maybe they aren't as bad as we thought that they would be, or maybe they're going to be just good enough. Either way, they're not terrible at this point, which I think is what most people thought they would be.
Mm-hmm. Do we really think the rotation was going to be terrible?
Yeah.
Really? I never thought it'd be terrible.
I think most people thought, and I would put myself in this, they thought they weren't going to be good or were going to struggle because of the number of hits they gave up last year, because of the number of home runs they gave up last year, and because of the age that they are.
Yeah.
And I think that was the concern. You had Miles Michaelis, who had a bad year. Kyle Gibson had a pretty good year, but him and Lance Lynn gave up a lot of hits, and Lance Lynn gave up a lot of home runs. The most home runs.
In ever, Bob.
In ever.
Well,
I mean not ever, but in 2023. And Steven Matz, it's a crapshoot. You don't know if you're going to get the best version of him or the injured version of him or the version that is, all right, we got to reset you and send you into the bullpen to get you back in line with what we need. So, yeah, I think that because of the signings that they had, people were like, oh, hell. After a 91-loss season, to boot, that part is probably the most important part. If they had made the playoffs, or if they had been, just out of the playoffs by a game or two, this was a 91-loss team where they finished dead last in the division. They had people playing baseball that we never heard of and may never hear of again towards the end of the season. So, yeah, there was some concern coming into this season.
Yeah, I get the overall concern. I just, for me personally, and look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I didn't think the rotation was going to be awful. I looked at it as it's going to be, it's going to be fine. Fast lane, fine. You got Sonny Gray at the top of that. Yeah. If Miles Michaelis has a bounce-back season in any capacity, that's positive. If Steven Matz can stay healthy and pitch the way he was last year, that's a positive. I did think it was a bit much signing Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson. Had you signed one of those guys and then went and got another arm of some kind, doesn't even have to be a Jordan Montgomery or anything like that, just another arm, middle of the rotation arm that's 28, 29, then I think I would have been a little more optimistic. But overall, I wasn't like, this is awful.
Oh, Anthony, we got a text from the 314. You guys are so hung up on the pitching. We ride or die with Goldie and Arenado being good. If they're not good, we will suck. If they're good, we will be good. This has nothing to do with the pitching.
Holy smokes, really?
I disagree with that. But I see
this is nothing to do
other
with
problems.
I see the.
But say there's nothing. This is nothing to do with the pitch. This is. I'm sorry. Are we playing baseball or what game? Now, what game
Maybe
are we
they're
playing?
saying the problems that the Cardinals are having are not simply pitcher based.
No, read that again. It was pretty clear with this.
This has nothing to do with pitching.
There it is.
You tried to help.
I tried.
You tried.
Now in this texter's defense, perhaps they're talking about this season. So the rotation hasn't been bad compared to what it was last year. But I think we're looking to be a little bit better than what we have now.
Well, okay, so if they are just talking about the 2 weeks of baseball that we've seen, they're right. Yeah. Do you put this rotation up against, and I'm asking honestly, I'm not trying to be snarky, do you put this rotation up against other rotations in baseball that you say are legit contenders?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Put it up against the Peoria team.
There we go.
You said baseball.
I did. You did. In fairness to you, I did. Yeah.
The Rochester Red Wings,
The Rochester Red Wings. All right.
You got a text from the 217.
Fargo Moorhead Redhawks.
You got a text from the
Tallahassee
217.
Warthogs.
Says you guys are way more positive than the Goons on at 11-2.
Goons?
Yeah, he called those guys goons.
That's Janet's favorite show. You be careful. right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Jamie's keys to victory. He's got about 82 tonight. Last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, last Bally Sports
gave
game.
you the key earlier. If you were listening, go back and check it out.
So you're out of here?
We'll be talking about it again.
Next on 101 ESPN.
It's that time of year. Everybody's got their vehicles out. Maybe you had that car in storage, or maybe the Jeep hasn't been the same, or you put the winter stuff on it. Now it's time to elevate your performance with Pure Performance, your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. Pure Performance is known for a couple things. One, their top-notch quality work. And two, 25,000 square foot facility full of amazing accessories. You'll find something for any kind of vehicle that you are currently driving. And it's easy to find Pure Performance. It's right there in Highway 70, Cave Springs exit. You can't miss it. When you walk in, ask for Shelby. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. And she's going to find out what you're driving, what you're looking to do. And then she's going to hand you off to the technicians who do amazing work. And by the way, if you are a technician and you're looking for a job with the best place in town, go by Pure Performance. Again, ask for Shelby and tell her what you're there to do, because you want to be a part of the best team in St. Louis. So please stop by the location. If not, visit them at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
play tonight. Blues, Hurricanes, and our guy Jamie Rivers came up with 82 keys to victory tonight for the Blues. 82.
I did, and the funny thing is that you guys nailed like 80 of them, so we're going to leave those to the side. Which is great.
That's fair.
Fantastic work by
Which
by
one
you guys.
were they?
Well, Anthony's Clear It was first on the list, and I was like, okay.
You finally coming around, buddy?
No, I wasn't. You've beaten me down so much that I'm just like, fine.
Yeah.
Clear It's a key. So tonight the Blues must clear it when it's possible. Avoid getting a penalty for clearing it over the glass.
Yeah.
And try to avoid icing the puck as much as possible so their first line doesn't get out there against your fourth line. But either way, clearing it is certainly the key.
Listen. The Clear Camp, we take care of all that stuff.
Yeah. Sure you do. Okay, so...
Camp's available soon.
No, not really. Not on this platform.
Yeah, find a competitor.
I thought you were going to say Planet. Yeah.
Good luck. All right. The true
We don't
keys
need
to the
your
game.
synergy hockey skills. We got
We can find our own.
we got plexiglass.com ready to go.
Yep.
We got work boots hockey camp because we teach in our work boots.
I can just see a kid. He's trying to like make his team, and he gets cut. And he's like, "Well, why did I not make the team?" And he's like, "Well, every time you got the puck, you just spun around and threw it away."
Shot it down the ice.
I went to the Clear Camp
I
over
went
the
to the
summer.
work boots clear camp. Okay, you're cut next year too.
All right, Jamie, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. We talked about earlier in the show that you got to put pucks behind the Hurricanes. You can't risk making fancy passes at the blue lines and things like that. They will turn and burn in a hurry, and they have the offense to back it up.
Yeah.
So pucks behind the defense, and that leads into my second key, which is managing the puck properly. Same thing. Defensive zone, make good, hard plays. If you don't have a play, just advance the puck. I tell coaching guys all the time, just advance the puck. And we used to play against really talented teams. If you keep moving the puck forward, it's moving away from your net. So it's a pretty simple theory. Now, you try to put it to spaces where you have a 50-50 puck or a 60-40 or a 40-60 so that there's actually a battle for it. And that way there, you're constantly in the hunt for the puck. You're not just throwing it away. The other team gets it, turns in transition, and comes back at you anyways. That would defeat the purpose of it. So you got to be real smart when you're managing the puck tonight. Be aware of their defensemen in your defensive zone. I told you guys, when you watch that game tonight, they'll be everywhere. They will be everywhere. So the Blues are going to have to do a good job of communicating on the defensive side of the puck, not turning the puck over, because once you turn the puck over, then it's chaos down there. And then also taking advantage of that. To your point, Carey, earlier today, if you get full possession of the puck and they got two defensemen caught down low, get on offense. Expose those forwards that are now having to play defense. And the last one's discipline. Stay out of the box, man. You don't want to put these guys on the power play. They're a real good team. And with Gensel, with Kuznetsov, with added firepower here, you just don't want to give them any reason to have an advantage.
There's Jamie's keys to victory tonight for the Blues as they take on the Hurricanes. You can listen to that coverage right here on 101 ESPN, starting with the pregame show. Alex Ferrario, Chris Kerber, Joe Vitale. That starts at 6. And then when the puck drops, you can listen to the game right here on 101 ESPN and the Blues Radio Network. Time for the first goal of the game.
Let's go, boys.
We need you to score more goals. Get those loose pucks.
Thomas to Carey. Score!
Goal!
No big deal. Game winner.
All right, I don't think anybody had Kyrie last time, did they?
No, imagine that. He's the hottest player right now. On fire here recently. Nobody had him. Good job, guys.
Oh, well. All right, Jamie.
Yeah, Braden Shen. I'm sticking with the captain. He's at 19 goals, looking for goal number 20. He's playing on that top line with Thomas and Bolduc, and that line has produced pretty good offense here recently. I'm going with Braden Shen.
Marshy.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jordan Kyrou. I don't mind riding the hot guy.
Not a boy.
I'm going to stick with my pick from last game and go Toropchenko.
Oh, Toro.
Yeah. Going to get one of those odd man rushes and put in the back of the net.
You know, I
Get
went
there on time. It'll be a minute and 30 into the game. Maybe
there you go. I went with Bolduc last time, and he did score. just not first.
That's been a trend this season.
Yeah, it has. Pavel Buchnevich.
Oh.
Give me Booch.
The Booch, there
The
it is.
Buchnator. To score the first goal tonight against the Carolina Hurricanes. Had those stats earlier for you guys in the Carolina Hurricanes, just so you know what you're going up against. But you're hockey fans, you probably already know. The Canes, 14-3-1 since March 7th. They've won 5 of the past 6 games. That includes a 3-game winning streak. Their last game on Tuesday night. Now, granted, the opponent stunk. It was the Boston Bruins at TD Garden. Canes took care of business 4-1. Outscored their opponents 19-7 their past 6 games. Although 4 of those 7 goals came in one game against the aforementioned Bruins on April 4th. So yeah, they come in pretty hot tonight. But you know what, guys? You know what? Not
Legends never die.
tonight. I was going to say, but Carey caught me. I wasn't going to roll with it.
Let's not act like these guys are the best team in the world now. The Blues beat them 2-1 in a shootout earlier in the season.
Yeah, Jordan Binnington had 40-some saves that night.
Again tonight?
I hope.
All right,
And last time I checked, they don't wear the Sharks logo.
No.
That was
Blues
what
should be
was throwing
fine
them
now.
off. Yeah.
I did receive a text from the air company. But we received a text from the.
Mark's showing some text line now.
I can't remember if they're from the 314 or the 636, but they did say that the Blues are 5-0-1 against the final 3 teams in the regular season. So,
Really?
Anthony, take those stats
And shove them.
There you go.
Okay.
Seriously.
You all right, Jamie?
No, I'm good.
Good.
Something's going on here.
If you're looking for
Anthony's doing great.
If you're looking for past trends, as you guys mentioned, the Blues won 2-1 in the shootout. The previous 1, 2, 3, 4 games, well, they got away from the Blues, but not tonight.
You get your bet the board pick, so we don't have to pick for you.
Good call. Yeah.
So we don't have to.
Biscuits.
So we don't have to hear you complain.
I
if
didn't
we picked
complain.
The wrong. No, because you picked the right one last time.
Oh, you said I
the
complained.
first
I
time
didn't
ever.
complain. I said thank you. So negative.
Now, Jamie, you took the Capitals last night, so they came up
I went against my initial thought and screwed it all up.
Yeah, I lost last night too.
All right, so this
I
one.
did too.
Did you? Mm-hmm. All right, so are you and I tied? Is that the Orioles? Who looked a little shaky. They rallied.
The Penguins and the Red Wings went to overtime, so I did not get the 1.5. Although the Penguins were winning by 2 and they blew it.
Nah, they did. All right, so this one's going to be a little self-serving at the same time. A little bit of hope in this one. Hope it brings good karma. I got the Wild over the Golden Knights.
Okay. Wild are plus 146, so they're a sizable dog tonight.
Yep, they are.
Last time Jamie faded the Vegas Golden Knights, the Edmonton Oilers won.
That's right.
Yeah, Jamie did well that night.
That was a great pick.
That was.
Thanks,
It's unfortunate for some. Yeah. All right, Jamie. Have a great call tonight on
Thanks,
Bally's. That's Jamie Rivers. What's up, Marsh?
We ever pick a team or whatever for Jamie and that team wins, but ours don't? It kind of feels terrible.
Yes, hey,
Just pick that team.
we're all in this together here. Hey, come on. It's a team.
Not bet the board.
Not really.
It's a team, Anthony.
Okay. All right. Jamie, we'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, I hope so.
This is the last one for you.
This is it.
Last game.
Last regular season broadcast.
Last regular season broadcast.
Say that.
We get the first round of the playoffs when the Blues sneak in.
Yeah, darn right we do.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go, Blues.
All right, we got the Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, when it comes to our guy Stewie, he's going to save you a ton of money over the course of your loan. It's because he's got programs like the Bagel Loan. If you're purchasing, or if you're borrowing $200,000 or more, you qualify for the Bagel Loan, which means no closing cost, no lender fees. Jamie, I've told you this story before. Before meeting Stewie, actually after meeting Stewie and realizing he's got the Bagel Loan, I called another lender one time and I said, hey, where's the whole program where you waive the closing costs and lender fees? Dude laughed at me.
Yeah.
Nobody does that. Really? Because our guy Stewie does. He wants to save you money.
Others have tried to imitate it, but they cannot do it like Stewie. Stewie's got to be your first call when it comes to anything that you're talking about as far as debt consolidation. Maybe you're looking to expand your real estate investments, comes to mortgage rates, purchasing a home, all of that stuff. Stewie's your guy, and you may have a lender that your realtor refers you to. That's great. Get a second opinion. Find out if Stewie can help you out even more. Odds are he can. He saves people money all the time. So please pick up the phone and call him or text him today and get your questions answered. That number is 314-324-4440.
Again, that number is 314-324-4440.
Call him, text him. It's Friday. He doesn't care. He's going to help you out no matter what day of the week it is. And if you can't remember that number, Anthony, what can you do?
Google the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Four warriors, four categories, one challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit mastor.com.
Time for the Gauntlet here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers heading downtown for Valley Sports Midwest and the Blues game tonight. And we welcome in Michael to the show. What's up, Michael?
Hey, not a lot. How you guys doing?
We're doing great, man.
Great.
Sun's shining Friday. We're looking forward to the weekend. Congratulations on being selected here for the Gauntlet. First time for you?
Yeah, first time on the Gauntlet. I did the 4 o'clock fight many years ago, but this is my first time.
How'd you do in the fight?
I think I faced off against Brad Thompson, and I lost, but I don't remember the score.
All right. Well, no BT today.
No.
No Randy, though, too. Would you like to take on Marsh, Carey, or me today?
Let's do you, Anthony.
Oh, wow. Carey was pointing at Marsh. I was pointing at Carey, and you chose me. So, nice work there, Michael. Good luck to you, bud.
Thanks. All right, thanks.
All right, you get out of here, you filthy animal. As Anthony heads to the cone of silence, Michael, what are you looking for today? What sport would you prefer?
I would prefer baseball, but anything other than football would be good.
All right, well, tell Marsh to spin that wheel. We'll see what you get.
All right, spin the wheel, Marsh.
Ooh.
Hey.
This is one of Anthony's favorites. It's hockey.
Well, we'll
All
see.
right, there we go.
All right. Well, Marshy is pulling out the launch codes. Anthony has done really well in hockey last couple of times he's played, but I mean, it's not Jamie in hockey, so you got that going for you. All right. Here we go, Michael. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I love the hockey names. All right. Here we go. Which active NHL defenseman has played the most? Let me start over. You understand you get 2 points if you get it correctly. 1 point. 2 points without the option. 1 point with the option. 0 points if you get it incorrect. Got it?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Got it.
Which active NHL defenseman has played the most games among active NHL players? Playing north of 1,400 NHL games.
Give me the options.
Is it Brent Burns, Ryan Suter, or is that Sutter?
Suter.
Suter, all right. Or Marc-Edouard Vlasic?
Ooh, I'll go with Suter.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 2. 3 active NHL players have played more than 1,400 career games. Of those 3 players, there is only one forward who has played every game with one team. Name this forward.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna try to take a chance without the options, and I'm just gonna go with Ovechkin.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 3. Who is the last player not named Patrice Bergeron to win the Selke Trophy?
I know O'Reilly won it a few years back, but I don't know who's won it more recently, so give me the options.
Is it Alexander Barkov, Sean Couturier, or Anze Kopitar?
I think I remember Barkov winning one maybe, so let's go Barkov. Final answer.
Final question for you. Which Florida Panthers defenseman leads the NHL in plus minus this season with a plus 48 rating?
I should know that, but give me the options.
Your options are Dylan DeMello, Aaron Ekblad, or Gustav Forsling.
Let's go Ekblad. Final answer.
All right.
All right, Michael, we get Anthony in here. Did you wave him in?
I did.
All right, he's on his way back in. How you feeling?
A lot of guesses, so we'll see.
Sometimes guessing is okay. Let's see if Anthony is prepared. He was in the cone of silence. Were you by yourself?
No, Mike Ryder's been there. This is first time in a while. Heck yeah. We listened to Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Oh, man.
I don't think that's a good song.
What the heck?
Hey, that's, they're playing the Hurricanes tonight.
They're going to rock them.
Well, I think that's more of their theme song than the Blues theme song. You can get any Gloria.
Boy, I didn't think of that. I was just thinking we're going to rock you like a hurricane.
I think they sing that rock you like who we are, Hurricanes.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's not
well, boy, one, I'm embarrassed. 2, I do not feel prepared for this hockey gauntlet.
Oh, wow. Well, hey, Marshy, tell them.
Pack a lunch, Anthony. I see you have some Skittles over there, too, so might want to eat some of those, too.
You should.
What do we got?
What did you say?
Hockey.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, it is hockey.
How'd you know that?
Is it?
It is.
Is it? Really?
It is.
Anthony, maybe if you win this one.
I always get hockey.
If you win this one, we can all do the Storm Surge since you're a Carolina Panther, geez. Carolina Hurricanes fan.
Not.
All right. Hockey.
Mm-hmm.
For Anthony Stalter.
Yeah.
Which active...
Options. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Which active NHL defenseman has played the most games amongst active NHL players, playing north of 1,400 NHL games?
Which goaltender's been around a while? I don't know. We'll take the options here.
All right. Is it Brent Burns? Ryan Suter.
I'm sorry. You said defenders? My bad.
All right. It's okay. Brent
Good thing I
Burns.
asked for the options instead of just saying Vasilevsky.
It definitely is.
My bad.
Brent
Go ahead.
Burns, Ryan Suter, or Marc-Edouard Vlasic.
Let's go with. You said Burns, Vlasic, or who?
Suter.
Let's go Vlasic. Final answer.
Question number 2. 3 active NHL players have played more than 1,400 career games. Of those 3 players, there is only one forward who has played every game with one team. Name this forward.
First name that comes to mind is Ovi. And when you gave me that last part, I don't know. I'm gonna go with it. Give me Ovechkin. Final answer.
Question number 3. Who was the last player not named Patrice Bergeron to win the Selke Trophy?
Was this the first? Is the last answer Patrice Bergeron? Probably. One of my options, please, Carey.
Alexander Barkov, Shane Couturier, or Anza Kopitar?
Kopitar. Final answer.
Final question. Which Florida Panthers defenseman leads the NHL in plus-minus this season with a plus 48 rating?
I have a thought, but I'd like to hear the options, please.
Your options are Dylan DeMello.
No.
Aaron Ekblad.
No.
Or Gustav Forsling.
Definitely didn't think of any of those names. Can I get those again, please?
Dylan DeMello, Aaron Ekblad, Gustav Forsling.
Ekblad, final answer. Michael, I feel terrible about myself. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Well,
that may have been easy for some.
All right. Let's go. Let's start there. Which Florida Panthers defenseman leads the NHL in plus-minus this season with plus 48? Michael, you said Aaron Ekblad. Anthony, you also said Aaron Ekblad. The correct answer is...
It is now up to plus 51 for Gustav Forsling.
You both got it wrong. 0-0.
Guy's been cheating for a while.
Let's go to question number 1. Which active NHL defenseman has played the most games amongst active NHL players playing north of 1,400? Michael, you said Ryan Suter. Anthony, you said, which goalie is it? It might be. Oh, wait. Give me the options.
All right.
And then you said Vlasic. The correct answer is...
It is Ryan Suter.
Oh,
Michael
nice
leads
shot, Michael.
1-0.
I feel a shutout going on.
Question number 2. 3 active NHL players have played more than 1,400 games. Of those 3 players, there's only one forward who's played every game with one team. Name this forward. Michael, you said, I want to go the options, but I'm just going to pick a name and said Alexander Ovechkin.
Oh.
Anthony, you said, is it Ovi? That's the first name that came to mind. Give me Ovi. Alexander Ovechkin. The correct answer is...
Well, guys, I'm surprised you didn't say Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing you didn't because it's Alexander Ovechkin.
Yeah, Michael, way to go. Marsh, nice deke there, kid. Nice triple
I
deke.
see what you did there.
Yeah.
Nice triple deke on that. Charlie Conway would be very proud.
Score is 3-2. Michael is ahead. 3 active. Oh, sorry. Who was the last player not named Patrice Bergeron to win the Selke Award? Michael, after listening to the options, you went Alexander Barkov. Anthony, after listening to the options, you went Anze Kopitar. If it is Barkov or the other name, Sean Couturier. That's easy for me to say. Then Michael will win. If it is Anze Kopitar, then we got a walk-off. The correct answer is...
It's Alexander Barkov.
Michael.
Nice.
You have chosen wisely.
Nice job, Michael. You get to celebrate all weekend. You'll be back on Monday. Nice work.
Yeah, it's a good way to start the weekend.
Darn right it is. Nice job. Congratulations. You have advanced to the second round of the Gauntlet. You'll take on Marsh, Carey, or Jamie on Monday.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too.
I thought you had it there. I thought you were gonna when you ran off. No, Demalo, no. Ekblad, no. Yeah, no, I didn't think it was any of those guys.
That's Anthony's second loss in hockey in Gauntlet 3.0.
How many dubs do I have?
4.
Oh, okay. I'll take that.
Still doing well.
Still doing good. Yeah.
Third overall loss.
Third. That's it?
That's it.
Oh.
I'm happy about that.
Look at you. That's why they're staying away from you.
Well, not after that. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Lack of scouting, development, or why do the former Cardinals have so much success elsewhere? We're going to get into that or that I just said next on 101 ESPN. I've been a homeowner for a long time now, and many of you are owning your home as well. Nothing worse than when you have something go wrong in your house and you need that immediate attention, and you call a company and you're like, we'll schedule it for next month. That's the worst. Not at Happy Roof. If you right now, after all the rain that came through the last week plus, if you have got a leaky roof, you got a damaged roof of any kind, when you call Happy Roof today, they will have someone to look at your issue within 24 hours. That's because they're live right here in live and local right here in St. Louis. Their headquarters are out in Sunset Hills. They're going to have somebody within 24 hours come and look at your roof. If it's leaky, damaged, you got issues going on, you know that water damage could be a big problem. Happy Roof Company, they're going to have somebody out there within that time frame. They're fantastic. If you need a completely new roof at some point, Happy Roof needs to be your company as well. They've got free estimates with competitive pricing, cost-effective solutions on flat roofing and metal roofs. They do residential and commercial roofings, and they work very well with realtors. So if you're selling your home and you want to make sure that you got the information after the roofing is complete, they've got you covered. Plus, they give you that 10-year labor warranty on all shingle roofs. They're the best. They're Happy Roof Company. They don't chase storms. They're right here in St. Louis. In fact, all of their 100% of their market is in St. Louis. So give them a call today, 314-665-3001, 314-665-3001, or visit thehappyroof.com. It's the Happy Roof Company. Tell them Stalter sent you. So we got in this discussion yesterday because Marsh had brought up the numbers of Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks is off to a fantastic start for the Giants. It's early, but it's eerily similar to the success that Tyler O'Neill is having from a hitting standpoint. Tyler O'Neill is on a pace to hit about 400 home runs this year. Of course, the former Cardinal, Tyler O'Neill. Bless you, Marsh. Bless you, Marsh. Randy Rosarina.
Thank you.
Success elsewhere as well. Adolis Garcia. Well, he's having success again with the Rangers, similar to the last couple of years. Am I missing anybody, boys?
Zach Gallen? What is he doing?
Zach Gallen. Bless you, Marsh.
Thank you, guys.
Lane Thomas is still having some good success for the Nationals. So we're having this discussion. Scout. Oh, they don't know how to scout. That's not true. Every single one of these players were scouted by the Cardinals in some respects, whether it was Tyler O'Neill when he was with Seattle at the time, or international signings, or guys that just came up through the organization like Jordan Hicks. Development, lack of development? Well, Randy Rosarina started hitting as soon as he got to Tampa. Jordan Hicks, he'd been in the league a while. He'd been with the Cardinals for a while. Maybe a development of his starting stuff. So Tyler O'Neill had been around a while. Adolis Garcia kind of bounced around a little bit, even with the Rangers. They cut him before bringing him back. But I don't think it's a lack of development for these players. The one word I keep coming back to is lack of opportunity, Carey. Mm-hmm. Less so with O'Neill, but with Hicks, from a starting standpoint, certainly Garcia, certainly Rosarina, and I would put Lane Thomas in that category too. I don't think it's lack of scouting or developing. I think it's a lack of an opportunity because the Cardinals fell in love with other players at those positions.
Or maybe a lack of patience from the Cardinals. Do you think that that's a possibility as well? I don't know, man. It's frustrating when you see other players that were here, that were in spring training at some point or on the major league roster at some point, and they go and have success elsewhere. That, especially when it's positions that, you could use some pitching. You could use a Zach Gallen in his 2.25 ERA right now with 19 Ks. You could definitely use a Jordan Hicks with his 1.0 ERA with 13 strikeouts.
They're good.
That's not bad. Yeah, if you got both of those guys on your rotation, you're
doing well.
Doing really well. But I think not giving Jordan Hicks an opportunity, a true opportunity for me, it was troubling. Like sometimes, and I've seen coaches do this often, you put people in a box. Like, this is all this person can do. He can't do anything else. He's unable to do. Is that true, though, or have you not given that person the opportunity? Mm-hmm. I see it all the time in football specifically because it's a height or size game. Oh, he's not the right size. He's 5'10". No, I don't want him. And then that person has success elsewhere. You're like, he can really play. Or he grows.
We whiffed on that.
Or he grows. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers comes to mind. He didn't have a lot of offers. He went to JUCO, then went to California. You know what school he wanted to go to? Yeah, Illinois.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's going to walk on.
Oh, no. Really? He wanted to go to Illinois?
Yeah, it's like he's from my coach is from California. He was okay. Ron Turner is from California.
I got you.
So there was a familiar connection. So that was the only place he had. Mm-hmm. JUCO, college, California.
Super Bowl champ, MVP. Now to toll Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, but either way, there are some people that get in get put in a box and are unable to get out of that box unless they go elsewhere. I think that would be the case for Jordan Hicks. I think when you're talking about Randy Rosarina, that's probably the case for him as well. You get a perception of who you are, and sometimes it may not even be on the field, which is even more frustrating than anything else. If my talent is not of the level of a starting pitcher or of a starting center field or a starting right field or first baseman, fine. Mm-hmm. But if my talent is, and you're basically saying, no, not you, him, because you don't like that person or you don't like how they can't carry themselves or whatever the case may be, you're doing yourself and your team a disservice. Now, I don't know if that's what took place with the Cardinals, but I know Jordan Hicks and I said it last year on the opening drive, and people would text, stick to football, Carey. You don't know what you're talking about. I said Jordan Hicks is a starter or a closer. He is not a 7th-inning guy. He is not an 8th-inning guy. He either needs to start a game or he needs to finish it. Well, they gave him opportunities, did they? Maybe, not really. You have to give, and so it's amazing to see him having success right now when he was on your roster last year and you got rid of him and you moved on. And that was one of the needs you had at the time was starting pitching. You couldn't find it anywhere. Lo and behold, he was sitting down there in the bullpen for 7 innings watching the damn game. That's the frustrating part for me as a Cardinal fan is when you let guys go and they have success, or you trade people and they go and have success elsewhere, and you are missing those pieces on your current roster.
Mm-hmm. I think you nailed it, and I think we're seeing a switch right now where we talk about, okay, not giving these guys opportunities, and I think this front office sees that and have the idea of, okay, now we need to give some of these guys too much opportunity. I look at some of the arms that they have, or just some of the pieces where you're like, this guy just does not have it. Yeah. At least here he doesn't. And so they're just giving some of these guys a little too much opportunity where I'm like, all right, I think you might need to move on from this guy because we're not seeing it right now. Or it could just be one of those things where other teams know how what you have and you just don't, which is scary.
Right.
That's not good.
I think that was the case with the Rays. I don't think you can say that for the Rangers. And I don't mean you, but I mean you in general.
Right. You know, the Rangers DFA'd
exactly.
Adolis Garcia. Let's be honest. He looked like a completely different dude.
Technically, they didn't know what they had either. You know, Randy Rosarina, you didn't know what you had. The Rays picked your pocket. That's as clean as we can be on that.
Which is BS, because I bet you everybody listening here, majority of them, could look at Randy Rosarina and see what he did in the minors and see the talent that he had and what he's like a 5-tool player. You could see that. And I think a lot of people were upset when that trade happened. I was pretty upset because I was following Randy Rosarina at the time, and I was clamoring, we need to bring this guy up. And then they did, and they gave him like maybe 15 to 20 at-bats, maybe a little over 20 at-bats. And that was it. He had less than 30 at-bats as a Cardinal.
Sure. And the other thing that hurt, there's 2 things that hurt. One is obvious. One is that you traded for Matthew Liberatore, who might wind up being a decent reliever for you. But
that's not what you traded him for.
You
traded him to be an ace.
And that should have told everybody. We had the discussion too, but it was still like, you did get the top lefty in there, the top pitching prospect in the Rays organization. You're doing well. Why are we getting the top pitcher in the Rays organization? What's wrong with him? For Jose Martinez. That was the Jose Martinez trade. It wasn't the Randy Rosarina trade.
I push back on that. I think it was Randy Rosarina.
Well, I think the Rays. No, what I'm saying is the Rays knew that, but when it first came down, Jose Martinez was kind of the front liar, and then it was like they're also giving up Randy Rosarina. It wasn't the Rays are acquiring Randy Rosarina at the time, and then later on, maybe you felt differently, Marsh.
I did. I felt like he was going to be a really good player, and I was pretty upset that they did not give him some more runway.
Why are you here? Well, Anthony, are you listening? Get this kid in the scouting
Why am I here? Anthony, I need to make some money.
This guy's trying to have a career of home runs, and he knew Randy Rosarina was going to be a stud.
Anthony, ask St. Louis. Literally, I believe this. I believe that at least 75% of the fan base thought that there was something there with Randy Rosarina,
I believe you.
And they didn't give him a chance.
No, they didn't.
Why? Why is that, though?
Because so I said there's 2 problems, right? One was Matthew Liberatore. The other problem is because they loved Bader and they loved O'Neill. They were infatuated with Tyler O'Neill. Well,
let's be honest. Probably another reason.
His social media skills.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
The fact he had a personality.
The fact that he played the
Mike Schill.
Had the camera, the phone in the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know who else did that?
Antonio
Brown. Mm-hmm. You know what Mike Tomlin said? We're gonna punish him. We ain't going to punish us. You know what that means? His ass is going to get fined. You know what else that means? His ass is going to be lined up on Sunday against whoever the cornerback is for the opposing team.
Right.
We ain't going to punish us. We'll punish him. We'll get in his pockets. Don't do that again. Mm-hmm. But we ain't going to punish us.
Right.
You punished yourself because of you were pissed off about a video being played. Man, get out of your feelings. People make bad mistakes. That ain't the worst. Something else you could have gone in a different direction. So I hope that that's not the sole reason or one of the reasons that you would move on from a play.
I mean, it's probably not the sole reason,
but it could be part of the reason.
A lot of people think, though. There's a lot of people out there in the fan base that think that was one of the reasons.
I don't think you're giving the Rays enough credit, though, if you say that. The Rays are a really smart organization. Again,
for sure.
They picked your pocket. They picked
absolutely.
your pocket. You didn't know what you had. The Rays did. And as soon as they threw Matthew Latour's name on, the Rays are outstanding. They know in their organization who they can part with and when. And the Cardinals don't. The Cardinals had the Cardinals' timing. Let's be real about this. The Cardinals' timing is atrocious when it comes to trades. The Marcell Ozuna trade, I will stand firm on this. Forget Randy Arozarena. The reason why you finished dead last year and why we're having these conversations about where the Cardinals are was the Marcell Ozuna trade. I know at the time what you needed. I get that. I am flat out admitting hindsight on this. Hindsight being what it is. The biggest trade, the biggest miss was trading 2 future Cy Young contenders / winners for 2 years of Marcell Ozuna. That is why your current rotation looks like it does.
It's something about that, though, because Marcell Ozuna was really good last year. He's really good. He's doing really well this year. He was good prior to getting here. He had, he may have had, he had one down year.
He had a damn gold glove
in 21. He climbed. That's still the worst play. That and Canseco hitting the ball off his head is top 2 for me.
Ozuna. This goes back to my overall point. And Marsh, you had thought like when the one texter talked about pitching, and the pitching's not the problem or whatever he said. You knew I was going to get fired up.
Oh yeah, I even wrote it down.
This goes back to my point about pitching, though. Ozuna did not have a horrible run here in St. Louis. He had a really good season that second year. But if you give up impact pitching, I don't care about your offense. If you give up 2 top-end pitchers in one deal, I don't care what that guy does with the bat. It ain't gonna matter, because eventually your rotation is gonna take a hit, and it has.
By the way, speaking of Antonio Brown, he's actually a pretty good insider. He's been. Have you seen him on Twitter?
I stay away from him.
He had the Buffalo Bills trade of Stephon Diggs like 2 weeks before it happened.
He might have had a conversation with Stephon.
He's had a few of them, actually.
Are they all receiver-related ones?
I'd have to check on that, but he's had like 2 or 3 where he's got them right like a few weeks before they've happened.
Well, that's
Central might have something there.
It's that Central Michigan education.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
This is Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Sports Six Pack is next. If you got a question for us, 314-399-9646 is the Air Commerce Service tax line. Again, your Sports Six Pack next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals take on the Diamondbacks tonight as Steven Matz takes the mound going up against Brandon Pfaadt. 8:40 first pitch. The Blues will also go up against the Carolina Hurricanes tonight as well. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. The Blues sit 3 points behind the Vegas Golden Knights for that final wild card spot, while the Golden Knights have a game in hand. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so if you have a question, send it our way to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll do our Sports Six-Pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
With Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. Here is Andrew Marsh with your questions for the Sports Six-Pack via the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. You can still text in some of your questions if you'd like. Marsh, go.
Question number 1.
I knocked over my mouse.
Oh.
I'm Italian. I speak with my hands. I knock over everything.
This one comes from the 636. Do you guys believe in 5 years that the Cardinals, or that we will be talking about the bad timing of the Wilson Contreras signing? This texter also says they should have been patient and waited a year until Herrera was ready.
Wow, that's a really interesting question, man. I get where you're coming from. Think about the outrage, though, Carey. Think about the outrage if you don't sign Wilson Contreras last year.
You don't do anything.
That was coming off of
this year.
Yeah, that was coming off the previous offseason where Albert Pujols saved your rear end when you signed him close to spring training.
Yeah.
Because you didn't do anything of that offseason either. Could you imagine sitting on your hands for 2 straight offseasons?
I think that was
to the point
difficult.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think that was difficult because you wait too long, and what if it doesn't pan out, right?
Yeah.
You know you had a known commodity in Wilson Contreras, and you've known him, you've seen him play. I didn't like how his first year went with them, essentially throwing him under the bus and making excuses for what I thought were just terrible pitches being thrown. But, I don't know that you could wait. Mm-hmm. It's just hindsight being 2020. Yeah, it'd been nice. But Ivan Herrera he looked good last year, but the year before he just kind of looked out of sorts at times and didn't look comfortable. So, you just kind of, you figured that you needed a catcher once Yachty left.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that Wilson Contreras provided you is, as we know, the only thing that it takes to become a Cardinal. He wanted to be here.
Oh, Anthony, no.
He wanted to be here.
It's more than that, isn't it?
Kyle Gibson said, I want to be a Cardinal. And the Cardinals said, we got you.
Okay.
Lance Lynn said, I want to be a Cardinal. Sonny Gray, same deal. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if Shohei Ohtani?
I think he did.
Through his now
fired interpreter.
Fired, arrested on federal charges interpreter said, I want to be a Cardinal? Come on now.
He'd be here.
He'd be here.
What if he did say it and we just never heard it?
What if the interpreter didn't interpret it? Because he didn't want to be here.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, good call. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. This guy's ruining everything.
He probably didn't say that.
Nah, probably not. No, I think he wanted to be a Dodger the entire time, and that's where he is now. So,
question number 2.
From the 636, you have to give up one. Mark McGwire's 70 home run season, the St. Louis Blues Stanley Cup, or the St. Louis Rams Super Bowl.
What do we have to give up?
Gotta go.
Yeah, one's got to go.
What? Say the first one.
Big Mac's 70 home run season.
Or the Cup run?
Cup run.
Or the Super Bowl?
Yeah, home run's got to go.
Home run's got to go.
It was, but.
Yeah.
That home run chase saved baseball. They saved an entire sport, Anthony.
Okay, but
him and Sammy Sosa.
What? Okay, what I'm hearing.
I'm just saying. I understand where you're. I'm just playing devil's advocate. They saved the game of baseball.
What I'm interpreting, though, is he would have done it elsewhere, just not in St. Louis. So baseball still would have been saved.
Anthony, that trend didn't start till to the 21st century. Even the 2010s, I'd even say.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was a trend back then.
Either way, home run's got to go.
All right.
You can't give up the greatest show on turf.
Save the game.
You're definitely not giving up the 19
All
Cup
right,
run.
one's got to go the Super Bowl or the Cup run.
The Super Bowl.
What?
They don't want to be. They didn't want to be here.
Because they're not here now.
They didn't want to be
correct.
here.
Come on.
Carey,
You're giving up Isaac, Torrey, Marshall.
You're giving up the 19 Cup run?
Carey,
Did
been
you
waiting
watch
50
those
plus
guys?
years
Get
for
out.
one of those.
50 plus years.
You didn't have to wait that long for the Rams. They weren't here that long.
It makes it that much sweeter.
You might have had to wait.
Go on.
All right, question number 3 from the 636. If Tyler O'Neill and Jordan
beat
Hicks...
Kurt Warner.
Yeah, it wasn't my fault. That's on him. He threw that pick to James.
Should've been
and we
standing
scored.
there.
I don't know what to tell you.
So if Tyler O'Neill and Jordan Hicks manage to continue the season they're having, what does that do to Mo's reputation as a general manager and Pulbo?
Well, in some people's eyes, it couldn't get much lower, right? I mean, they really dislike him.
I would like somebody to ask him, though. Was there, if let's say, for kicks and giggles, Jordan Hicks goes on and has a Cy Young type of season.
Okay.
You had him on your roster for 4 years?
Yeah. Well, felt like longer than that.
On the actor, on
Yeah. At the big league level.
At the big league level.
All right, so
and you never gave him a real opportunity to be a starter in your organization. Why? Go. Like, what is the defense of that? Tyler O'Neill, he was hurt. Cool. See you bye. No issues. We're just going to go from just those two. Tyler O'Neill was often injured. You gave him plenty of opportunities. He said he wanted to be a center fielder last year. You gave him the opportunity to do that.
Oh, yeah.
He got injured. He didn't want to play. He wasn't running third base hard.
This is not surprising. He's gone on a home run surge.
I expect it. If he goes on and wins an MVP, I'd be like, good for him. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
He might get hurt. But if he doesn't, if he goes on and has a great year, because you know the talent is there. But when you're talking about Jordan Hicks, he was on your roster, and he goes on and has a Cy Young type of season. Why?
Yeah, so here's the ultimate problem, right? For Mo, these type of things continue to happen. It's not just Randy Arozarena anymore. It's Randy Arozarena. It's Sandy Alcantara, Zach Gallen. It's now Jordan Hicks. It's Lane Thomas. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, who cares about Lane Thomas? Lane Thomas has been a pretty good outfielder for the Nationals. You look over and yes, you got Goldie, you got Arenado, Giovanni Gallegos. That was a really good trade. People don't give Mo enough credit for Giovanni Gallegos. People also don't give him enough credit for who's the other? There's another. Jojo Romero. That has wound up being a pretty good trade. But the younger players that you've given up on, I think people don't want to give Mo credit for Arenado and Goldie. Let me rephrase this. I think they want to weigh the younger guys that have gone on and done something heavier than Goldie and Arenado. Because if you had an opportunity to trade for Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado for what you gave up, every GM in baseball probably would have done that.
Correct.
You know? But they had those opportunities. And Mo, so he gets a little bit of credit for that. But it takes a lot more savvy to realize what you have in a Arozarena, or to say, man, I really need a middle of the order bat. But after whiffing on Stanton and Yelich, I'm going to hang on to Alcantara and Gallen. Right? Like it takes a bit of savvy for you. You can't predict the future. But Theo Epstein once said, you're trying to get to 55-45 with your trades.
Yeah.
55% of the time it works out, 45 it doesn't. And people may listen like, wow, that's not even good. It is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of trades are more 50-50 than we want to kind of detail. But he always said, can you get to 55-45? 55% of the time it works out, 45% it doesn't. those scales are starting to tip the other way, where it's like you're not even 50-50 now, you know? So, long way of saying, yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of tired of the Mo show.
It's tough.
Yeah. All right, let's continue our sports six-pack. Is the lineup out yet? Because I don't want to cut off the lineup game.
I haven't seen the lineup yet. All right, well, Arizona's lineup is out, though.
Son of
D-backs?
Yeah.
A bunch of Diamondbacks they are.
Yeah, they certainly are. All right, so we'll do the rest of the sports six-pack as we continue to wait for the lineup so we can play a lineup game. That's next on 101 ESPN. So I talked about this a couple days ago, but I just found it funny. So I went out to cut my lawn the other day, and I looked over, and I saw I had something on the door. And I went up to our front door, and I'm like, what's going on with this? And it was just a piece of paper, black and white piece of paper, barely legible. It was offering to, take care of my lawn. Not mow it, but like seed it and spray for weeds and all that. I go, this is your presentation? Green Envy. Green Envy sends a technician over. First time I met somebody from Green Envy, had somebody come over. They walked me through my entire lawn and said, look, this is the problem here. This is the problem there. This is what we can do for you. And by the end of it, I go, sign me up. You know what you're talking about. I love the fact that you're going to come out and when you spray for weeds, if for whatever reason Mother Nature says, we're going to dump more rain on you and more weeds pop up, they'll come respray for you at no extra charge when you're on the program. I don't have to worry about seeding or, irrigation or whatever it's called. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. I don't even have to worry about what the word is. Green Envy covers that for me. All I do, because all I want to do is mow, trim, sit back, and look how green it is. That's what Green Envy provides. They're fantastic. They're going to do the same for you. They're the only company I trust when it comes to my lawn. Our neighbors are on Green Envy as well. Their lawn looks fantastic as well. Give them a call, 636-757-1600, 636-757-1600. Call Green Envy. Tell them Stalter sent you.
question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We're going to continue our Sports Six-Pack. What are we on, Marshy, 4?
Thought 3.
3?
No, I think we're on question 4.
Question 4, please.
Keep track.
Question number 4.
Carey.
From the 314, guys with the City Connect jerseys coming this year, what is your all-time favorite St. Louis sports jersey?
Oh, it's the baby blue.
Really? Yeah. That's baby blue for the sake of baby blue.
No.
No, thanks.
The baby blue.
Nah.
Yeah. I know Jamie hates the red in the Blues jersey. I'm a fan of it. 90, was it 92, 93?
You like the red?
The red and the blue. Yeah. In the Blues jersey? In the St. Louis Blues?
Man.
Yeah. Ah, you saying I'm a weirdo?
I didn't say that.
That's what you said. You said it with your eyes, Anthony.
Carey, I did not
said
say
it
that.
With your eyes. You shamed me.
No,
you like the red?
Yeah. I don't like the current version of the baby blues.
No, the 80s baby blues.
Yeah, the 80s are way better.
The 80s baby blue. Cardinals.
The only
Sign me
baby
up.
blue that I've liked on the uniform is the Chargers. That's like the best baby blue.
No, the Houston Oilers baby blue
all right.
is the best.
That's fine. I'll give you that. They're to me they're 1A, 1B. Okay. The Warren Moon.
Oh yeah.
Baby blue, cool.
Yeah.
This version of baby blue, I'm not a fan.
I would like I would like them to wear them at home.
That would be nice.
I'd like to see them at home at least.
I'm glad that the opposing stadium's got to look at it.
Boy,
I like the dark
the navy blue cap.
Navy blue cap, red bill, white jersey.
Anthony.
That's the Cardinals.
You like the gray
combo.
and navy blue cap?
No, I like the white. I like the white home Cardinal, dark navy blue, red bill.
It's a good look. My favorite Cardinal jersey is the one that is associated with Stan Musial it was from 1936 to 1948, and it has the red trim down the middle, and the Cardinal is a little older looking. The C is a little weird looking, and it's got a black bat, but it's a sweet jersey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. So the navy got the navy blue hat, at least in the picture.
With the red bill.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
And I think right now, currently out of all 4 teams, I think the Blues Saturday Heritage jerseys are the best.
Which ones are those?
The old Winter Classic jerseys.
Oh, okay. All right. There you have it. You guys like the Battlehawks jerseys?
Oh, we love love everything Battlehawks.
I wish the Battlehawks would go all white with their road unis, though. The white tops with the gray pants. I never have thought it's been a good look in football.
The gray tops with white pants?
Yeah. No. The white jerseys, gray pants.
Got you.
Go all white.
All right.
I like the Cardinals, the gray jerseys now, where it's the jersey actually doesn't match the pants. It's 2 shades of gray. Those look fantastic. I really like those.
Do you like the sweat stains as well?
I like the sweat stains. I like the ripped pants.
I like the names you can barely read.
Yeah. How about this? How about Victor Scott? His gray jersey, and now we'll see if they changed it, but the road uniform said Scott on the back, and then the home uniform said Scott the second on the back.
They just forgot.
Now maybe they changed it, but
maybe
it's a tough scene. We'll find out tonight.
From a professional sports standpoint, that is an utter embarrassment what Fanatics has done.
That wouldn't be on
embarrassment.
That would be on the Cardinals. The names on the back of the jerseys.
I guess
teams usually put
sew those on.
The teams usually put the names on.
All right, but I'm talking about the uniform overall. The small, I mean, you could barely read them.
You got to know who guys are.
That's
Just
terrible.
take the names off. Play like the Yankees.
How about this? The Cardinals have their cream colored jerseys on Saturdays for the Saturday home games, and then they wear the baby blues or the powder blues on Saturdays for road games. Well, Anthony, I was at the game on Saturday, and they were wearing their normal white jerseys. And why is that? It's because Fanatics didn't have the cream colored ones in on time. How does that happen?
You know how that happens. You know how that
You've
happens.
been preparing for this.
They have not prepared.
They
That's
are
the
not
problem.
fair. They're
That's the problem.
overwhelmed.
They had Bill in accounting say, "Why
What's
do
the
you,
rush?
Why should I design these? Bill, you're all we've got." And then Bill put this together.
He's trying to figure out what the rush is. The season is about to start, Bill.
All right, I'll put something together.
In a couple of days, I'll get to working on it.
So we went to paint.exe, put these uniforms together in about 12 minutes.
So bad.
And this is what Major League Baseball has now.
They're so bad.
It's atrocious. It's an absolute atrocious.
And the NHL is going to get probably similar jerseys next season because Fanatics is taking over for the NHL.
Fanatics is doing something right.
Yeah.
Hell with what you're talking about. If I can make it for cheaper and get paid more money, the hell I look like rushing these uniforms, huh? What the hell I look like putting more effort into them? I'm going to get paid the same amount and give you what you get what you get, and you don't have a fit, Anthony. Well, I need to, somebody get me on the phone with Fanatics. I need a job.
How does Nike not look at these jerseys and say, these look terrible? Our logo is on the jersey still. Like, Nike still sponsors the jerseys. Like, that makes them look bad.
Yeah, take our swoosh off those jerseys immediately.
Man.
All right, we got what's trending next on 101 ESPN.
One question.
out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
5:02, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Our guy Jamie Rivers, his last Bally Sports Midwest hockey game tonight, so he's downtown right now getting ready for the Blues. You can watch them at Bally's, but you can listen to them right here on 101 ESPN. Blues Hurricanes pregame starting at 6 o'clock. I was laughing at myself this morning when I had got up and I went to ESPN.com, and I'm going to do it again right now. Okay, they changed the picture, kind of. And guys, the first thing I saw was a picture of Tiger Woods. And now they have a picture of, and I believe it's either Scottie Scheffler or DeChambeau, and right under it is a picture of Tiger Woods with Tiger on historic Masters cut. I have a chance. Has there ever been an athlete in any sport? And I know that we can throw a bunch of names into the pile, and I know the text line will do so too, and please participate. But any name you throw out there, I think I can make an argument that none of them has had a bigger impact on their sport than Tiger Woods has had on golf.
In terms of just people tuning in,
impact, revenue.
New players to said game.
Yes. Like Jordan, obviously, in the 90s.
Yeah.
I get it. Serena and Venus Williams.
Yeah.
Mostly Serena.
Yeah.
In tennis. I get it. But has anybody had an impact like Tiger Woods from the mid-90s to now 2024 on their sport like Tiger has?
I think Michael Jordan would be the first name to come to mind because, when he came back, you just had the paper with his back on it, I'm back. Mm-hmm. Like that was, and people were like, oh, Michael Jordan. But in terms of just the longevity of doing it, being hurt as long as he has been hurt, not winning really majors or having the success that he had earlier on in his career, but people are still tuned in.
Yeah.
Is this the time? Is he going to do it now?
Right.
Again, maybe Michael Jordan, because when he came back with the Wizards, is he going to win a championship? No, he's not. He's 40.
He's done.
He's still going to play well, but they're not a championship team. But Tiger Woods, I think, just brings that excitement, and people want to know. They believe that. They all think that on Sunday he's going to be wearing red and be chasing down someone to win a championship.
He's not, though. He's not. He
Is he not, though?
He's not. This is my point.
I will say this.
He's not.
He's not
going to be able to play 4 days.
Here's why. The last time I saw him play, he was limping in round 2. Mm-hmm. He had to play, I think, 23 holes today because he got they suspended play yesterday, and so he had to come back and finish up the first round. And then I didn't see any, when watching him walk, I didn't see any limp or his gait didn't look off. He looked pretty normal. And the psychology of any athlete, when there's the greatest player of all time still playing well, being healthy, he may not have to go to them. They may eventually come to him, if that makes sense. Like the numbers, you may start bogeying a few more holes than you did in the first and second round. And if he just can, that's what we think is going to happen. That's what I think. Like Tiger is, if he's playing, man, I want to know.
That is my point right there.
It is an appeal that I think no one else has had.
I still think that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, okay? There are people, though, that will make the argument for LeBron, or even, a lot of people talk about Kobe, right? Nobody's been in the Tiger discussion. There's been no number 2. Even Tom Brady, what are we talking about now? Brady isn't 2 years removed from retiring, and we're like, Patrick Mahomes, when's he going to be the old GOAT, huh?
Right.
And look what Tom Brady accomplished. I don't think anybody touches the impact of Tiger Woods in his sport or her sport more so than what this dude has been able to do for golf.
I think some people still talk about Jack Nicklaus.
You shut your mouth.
But I agree with you.
Like that, though.
No, not even close.
I think,
not even close to good enough, Marsh.
Texter, around the world, maybe soccer is like Messi.
Okay.
But you got Ronaldo.
But you got Ronaldo, exactly.
And you have Pele.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you got Berkey.
Yep.
Hell yeah, you do.
St. Louis City.
City.
How about this? Carey, you'll like this discussion.
All right, what you got?
And obviously, I was not around for this time, but do you think
saying I'm old?
No.
I think that's what I think he's telling you. You, Carey, you're old. You're an old guy now.
Definitely is how that came up. Go ahead, continue. Sorry.
You know, you mentioned Tiger Woods being a guy that has done so much for golf and has not made it what it is, but I mean, kind of. Do you think?
I think yes.
Back in the day, like back in my day, two dudes I'm going to bring up, Magic and Bird. Did they revitalize the NBA?
Yeah,
they saved the NBA.
Yeah,
just like Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa did with the '90s home runs. Get rid of those guys. No, yeah, Magic and Bird definitely saved the NBA. Showtime Lakers saved the NBA. They just had a different vibe. People wanted to see the games. People wanted to go to the games. They brought the Laker girl. Like it was a show. The Lakers did it right and saved the NBA. And then Michael Jeffrey Jordan came and
took it to
off.
another level.
Yes,
no doubt.
But yeah, Tiger is in a place all his own. I think in terms of eyeballs to TVs when he's involved.
What was the time? How long ago did he take the nine iron upside the dome?
That was in 2008.
We're still talking about him. Front page, ESPN.
He did win like not too long ago.
That was like, what was that, 2 years ago?
I don't know if it was 2 or 3, but he won the Masters not too long ago.
And think about how big of a deal it was.
It was a huge deal. Anthony, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I remember going to the PGA Championship, and that Sunday he had a chance to win, and Brooks Koepka ended up winning, but Brooks Koepka was at least to me, was an afterthought because everybody was following Tiger because he had a chance to win.
He won in
2019. Yeah.
He won the Masters in 19.
That's
it was a good
5
year.
years ago.
It was a good year.
Good year for champs.
Yeah, champions.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
It could happen again, huh?
Yeah.
Was the Blues and Anthony Stalter's prediction.
Yeah,
got to win tonight.
So 5 years ago, Tiger won his last major. And that dude was under, what was he, -1 yesterday?
Yeah. He's +1 today, I believe.
Splashed everywhere. Tiger's minus. Bryson DeChambeau -7. Scotty Scheffler now -7. Everybody's like, yeah, but what about Tiger's +1? Like, nobody touches this guy.
They come back. Gets that red shirt
I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying this is my point. This is
different.
This is the impact that he has had.
I think it's different.
The Venus sisters, the Williams sisters, huge impact in tennis. Huge. Messi in soccer, Ronaldo and stuff, sure. Nobody's in the same hemisphere.
No.
As Sir Tiger Eldrick Woods. Or Eldrick Tiger Woods or whatever the hell his name is.
Have you been able to see him play?
Live? Only the PGA Championship here. That was it. It was the only time. And I barely saw it because you got everybody following him.
Well, this is what I did. This was the strategy that I had. Me and my buddy, we would watch him tee off on, let's just say we watch him tee off on hole 5. And then we'd go to 7 and watch him putt. And then we'd skip holes. But also, like, there was some dudes also around us, so we got to see those guys too. But we were following
some
Tiger.
Dudes like Brooks Koepka.
Well, I believe Koepka was behind him, but I believe we were following JT as well because he was playing a little bit ahead of Tiger. So there were some dudes. I mean, it was Sunday, so like the best of the best were playing, and Tiger was one of them.
There you have it. At some point, we will do the lineup game.
I got a couple of well, I didn't. I did what Marsha did earlier.
You on the text line.
We got a couple of texts saying the lineup is out.
All right.
Perfect.
Well,
It's about
nice.
damn
Let's
time.
do the lineup game next on 101 ESPN. it's always fun to get the "you guys are screwed" text following the release of the lineup. I feel fun. Or I feel confident, I mean. This should be fun. Okay. Lars Newbar, as we know, is back.
He's starting, though.
Yeah.
All right.
He's starting somewhere.
All right, I'm excited.
Brandon Pfaadt is on the hill tonight for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
That guy's going to carve us up.
Hey, he had a rough one the other day. You never know. I think it was against the Dodgers, but no, who was it? Where did he start? Braves? Sorry, it's the Braves.
Marcy almost spit all his water out. That was funny.
Gave up 8 hits, 5 runs.
All right.
Braves will do that to you. It's just like the Cardinals will. Here we go. So, right-hander on the hill. I think Newt is back in the leadoff spot.
Okay, you go ahead and say that. I would say...
Well, come on, Carey, let's be a team here.
It's Donnie Baseball.
You think it's Donnie Baseball?
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Okay.
Donnie Baseball. Show us Brendan Donovan.
Donnie.
Hey, this headband's pretty cool.
Good job. You got the hot hand. So let's lean on you there, Carey.
Right. This should be your guy.
RL Chalk.
RL Chalk.
RL Chalk. Show us Paul Goldschmidt.
Chalk. Yeah. Get my tub of chalk.
Okay.
Now it's going to get hairy.
They don't have a Harry.
Oh, well.
Bader's not with us anymore.
You want to go, Willie? Willie in the 3-hole?
Yes.
All right. Show us Wilson Contreras.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, you ready? Okay, so this could be Gorman or it could be Newt.
It's not going to be Newt. Newt's going to be, I think Newt's 6 or 7.
You had the right call on Donovan.
You want to go Paul Gorman?
Yeah, you never let me hear the end of that, will you? I messed up one name.
Show us Nolan Gorman.
Get your fresh organic popcorn.
Man, you're rolling.
Get your popcorn ready.
I let the text line get into my domicile.
Man, don't listen to those guys and gals.
I love those guys and gals.
Oh, you know who this is right here.
Nolan Arenado. Oh, sorry. Show us. Nolan Arenado.
He's a Gold Glove winner and perennial All-Star.
Oh, listen to Mr. Gold Glove over here.
Come on.
Now, my guy.
Wilson.
Show us Wilson Contreras.
DH.
No.
Catches mid. Check.
All right, he's probably catching. I don't think you're going to have your boy, Ivan.
You don't think Ivan Herrera's in this lineup?
I don't think so.
Then Ollie should be fired.
Nah, he's got a contract extension. He'll be here.
Then rip up the contract and give it to somebody else that will play one of your best hitters.
All right, who do you want to see here? This is probably Newt here.
Yeah.
Newt?
Yeah, Newt's not going to hit lower than 6. Yeah.
Show us Lars Newbar.
What makes you think she's a witch? Well, she turned me into a newt. A newt. We got better.
Well,
we hadn't heard that one.
That is new.
Sword. Are we unbeaten?
No, we got.
We got Contreras wrong in the 3 spot there. Okay, that's not bad.
This is probably Jordan Walker.
Okay, so what do we need?
I think Donovan is DHing. Newt is or DHing or left field. Newt is DHing or left field. Those two are probably because you got Goldie at first.
Dude, Ivan Herrera's got to be in this
lineup. He's
lineup.
not. Sorry, not sorry.
I don't want to play.
I don't know that he's not, but I just know that he's not. This is the issue that Marshy and I were trying to tell you a couple days ago, and you argued with us.
Yeah, because Ivan Herrera's ripping the cover off the ball.
He's not in the
Why would
lineup
you guys
tonight.
bench
Okay,
him?
call him. You go ahead. You want him in the lineup.
Thank
left,
you.
Right. There you go.
Show us Ivan Herrera.
Oh, for God's sake.
I'm trying to tell you, man, he's not playing. He ain't gonna play.
Then I want Ollie's resignation on the desk. It's up before
damn time,
before
Anthony.
first pitch. If Ivan Herrera is not in this lineup and his arm isn't cut off, then I want Ollie's resignation on the desk before the game.
Last I checked, he's still healthy. Just ain't playing today.
Carey,
in my opinion.
Carey, my emotions have gotten the best of me here. Why don't you go ahead and tell me
Jordan Walker.
What's his angle?
What angle?
Launching now.
I haven't seen a good swing, even when he's gotten a hit. I haven't seen a good swing by Jordan Walker. But no, please, let's take Ivan Herrera out.
He ain't gonna be mad. It's probably gonna be this lineup for the next week or so. This is probably Mason Wynn. You want to do the honors?
No.
Or he doesn't want to play.
I'm going to go total brat on this.
Show me Mason Wynn.
I'm watching the Futures game, and this thing's all over Instagram. It's like, this guy threw a ball 100 across the time. That's awesome. But, like, how many throwing errors does he have?
Shut up! On the last one is on me as well. Show me Victor Scott the second.
Great Scott.
Wow.
Too fast, too fast.
Focus. Speed. I am speed.
Marshy, you go ahead and run the lineup down, please, for us, sir.
All righty then. Leading off, your DH, Brendan Donovan, batting second.
I got my bet the board pick.
First baseman, Paul Goldschmidt. Batting third, second baseman, Nolan Paul Gorman. Your cleanup hitter, third baseman. No. Batting fifth, catching, Wilson Contreras. Batting sixth in left field, Lars Nootbaar. Batting seventh in right field, Jordan Walker. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Mason Wynn. And batting ninth in center field, Victor Scott II. Would you like to?
It's Nolan Brian Gorman.
It is. I looked it up too. I wanted to know because I was hoping
his ball.
Now, before we run the home run derby, is there anything you'd like to say about this lineup?
He's frustrated.
Yeah, Ollie's not trying to win games.
Oh,
the Texans. No, hold on. Cardinals. Some Cardinals fans have said that. I'm like, oh, stop, guys. This is ridiculous. He's throwing games. Yeah, you don't have your bet. You don't have your one of your best hitters in the lineup.
We knew. This is the.
Oh
Marsh
my
and
gosh!
I knew.
Text message for 314.
Is that me?
It's a picture of Anthony Stalter, probably from 10 years ago, wearing a green 101
That's
ESPN
from my
shirt.
Is that the grilling show?
The grilling video. It says catcher Paul Gorman from Cincinnati, Indiana.
That's hilarious. Well done. Now, in fairness, that Cincinnati, Indiana thing was more Jamie than me.
Well, you agreed. He's from Cincinnati.
Yeah, but I caught it in half a second.
It says, Marshy, sorry I'm late. I found this at the Top Shop.
Oh, man.
That's pretty funny. No, I've got nothing to say.
No, he's frustrated
I've said
because
what I
he
said.
doesn't want Ivan Herrera sitting on the bench. And
I agree.
You are not wrong.
This is what we talked about
But this
the
is
other
what
day.
we said. They're not going to.
It didn't make any sense then.
Why would they play both of them at the same time?
Oh, I don't know, because they could both rip the cover off the ball.
Well,
I'm looking at a lineup here. Look, I'm Mr. Defense first, okay? But we're talking about one of your DH spots. You're talking about, not one of them, you're talking about the DH spot, so it doesn't even impact your defense.
Donnie baseball. Lars and Donnie got to play, right?
I'd put Donovan in right field.
You would say Jordan Walker.
Yes, he's not hitting the ball.
Or just play Newt in center. If you have to have Jordan Walker in the game,
then you would have sent Scott down.
I agree. That's why I said it too.
Maybe when
I said in the office, I go, this is obvious.
Maybe
when Newt comes back, it's going to be Scott that goes down.
Maybe this is when Dylan Carlson comes back. If he's still not performing well, then you do send him down.
We still have a problem though.
This isn't.
Well, because you don't got enough people. You don't got enough positions.
Do we
need
not
to add a fourth outfielder like softball?
Do we not think that
Alec Burleson would thrive?
Do you guys think that Newt's going to fall down constantly? Like when he goes out to center field? Do you think he goes out there, he ties his feet together?
I don't think he's going to be Victor Scott in center field.
I think the drop off between Scott's defense to Newt's defense is not as massive of a drop off as Scott's offense to Newt's offense.
I don't disagree with you there. But you're going to deal with the offense for the foreseeable future because he plays such stellar defense. And unfortunately, your catcher / DH or whatever he is, and Ivan Herrera, who is ripping the cover off the ball, hitting the cover off the ball, it's not going to play. And this is the conversation that you did not want to hear from Marsh and I 2 days ago.
Trade Ivan Herrera.
Okay.
Then I'll have an opportunity to watch him thrive elsewhere. Like every other guy you get rid of that's young.
He trade him for Jordan Hicks.
He wouldn't even trade him for Hicks. He would send him to San Francisco, and San Francisco give him back like a Diet Coke machine. Diet Coke. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Back. Stay fair! Stay fair, stay fair! Go fair, go fair! I don't believe what I just saw! Home run!
All right. Jamie is still in the lead, right? Nobody else said a home run?
He's still in the lead.
He is still in the lead.
What did he text us?
So Jamie has, let me pull this up here real quick, Nolan Gorman.
Nolan Paul Gorman.
Nolan Gorman. That's his guy. All right, Marsh.
Well, I think I'm going to go with Yvonne Her.
Oh, why would you do that?
Oh, damn.
You know I'm still hurting over here.
No. I think I'm...
Am I the only one frustrated about this?
No. You're just the funniest expressing it. I'm going to pick Lars Nootbaar. Give me a home run in his 2024 debut.
All right. Do we have Newt on the thing?
Do we have Newt on here?
Oh, yeah, we do. He's a tier 2. He's a tier 2 hitter.
All right. It's on me or you, Anthony?
No, it's all you.
All right. Give me... You know what? Since you're talking bad about my guy.
I'm not talking bad about anybody. I'm just trying to lift up Ivan Herrera.
Give me Brendan Donovan.
I'm not talking bad about Donnie.
I'm just kidding. Nat, is it too late to change?
No, go ahead.
Give me Jordan Walker.
All right. Give me Goldschmidt in his return to Arizona.
You sounded very excited. You're
it's a
very
good call,
frustrated.
actually.
I am.
You're bothered.
I'm very bothered by this.
He shut down and crossed his arms and was done.
Yes, I'm very bothered by this. But you know what? It sets up perfectly. Marsh, you and I are now tied for Bet the Board, right?
Yes.
I've battled back. Actually, you just kind of come back. I've been steady.
Mm-hmm.
You were red hot. Now you're starting to dip a little bit in the middle of the month. I have the absolute perfect play for Bet the Board.
What is it?
I am
He's scoring bags.
I am stoked about this play because I know one team's not trying tonight.
He's going Arizona.
Beat the streak. Biggest question of the day next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, if you're a contractor out there or you own a business that needs recycling, you need to hear and learn more about Scrap Mart Metals. They're tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. They understand that job site cleanup for contractors is a mess. If you set up a business account with Scrap Mart, to recycle that metal, it's one less thing you have to do during cleanup. You'd be amazed how scrap metals add up and can help your business's cash flow. If you're a plumber, heating and cooling, an excavator, or a contractor, Scrap Mart Metals Recycling can make your job easier. If you have that heavy equipment, it breaks down often, and at some point it's going to be broken and it no longer can be repaired. You're going to have to get rid of it. When that time comes, Scrap Mart will come get it out of your way. They'll haul it to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you want to haul it away yourself, they have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it, and they offer a convenient drive-on scale, and they have the highest payout. You will always get top dollar for your scrap metals. Just visit them online at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you rolling. That's scrapmartmetals.com, and tell them Carey sent you.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update. Brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals, they'll have the lineup out. They'll take on the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. Steven Matz goes up against Brandon Pfaadt. 8:40 first pitch. The Blues take on the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. And you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have Beat the Streak in our biggest question of the day coming up next, so don't go anywhere. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hit baseballs. All of my successes depend on me.
You're ready to hit.
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. And it is time for us to beat the streak here. And we got Dylan on the line again. Dylan's rolling.
He's killing it.
What's up, Dylan?
Hey, how's it going, gentlemen?
Doing great. You're becoming a regular now, man.
Hey, I'm trying, man. Hopefully I can get up to Marsh's streak. What do you have, 6, right?
I had 6, and it came to a close.
Oh, no.
Thanks to JT Real Muto.
That guy stinks. Yeah. So is Dylan the new leader in the clubhouse?
Yes, he is.
All right. So what's
the count?
Yeah, what's the count
Where
now?
are we?
Dylan is at 3.
And nobody else is at anything.
We all did not get a hit here tonight, except for Dylan.
Wow. Okay, Dylan.
All right,
Go
Dylan.
for it, man. What's your pick?
I think I'm going to go with your guy, Anthony, Paul Gorman.
Now, is that Goldschmidt or Gorman?
No. I'm going to go with Brendan Donovan tonight.
Okay. All right. Brendan Donovan it is. So Donovan is off the board. Marsh, since you had the next longest streak.
I'm going to go with Randall Grichuk.
Wow.
Really?
Going with Grichuk there. Okay.
All right.
Carey.
I think I'm going to go with Wilson Contreras. I should have picked him for my home run, but I didn't. I'm going to go, Willie. You want to hear all this talk about this catcher issue you got going on here? Let me show you who the real catcher is. Huh? Play every day. Behind the plate. All 162 games. Maybe about 150 because he's missed a few already. Don't worry about that.
Fair enough. Okay. Who did Jamie want? Do we know?
So Jamie wanted Brendan Donovan, but he gave us a few different picks. So Paul
That was
Goldschmidt.
smart of him.
Paul Goldschmidt will be his pick today.
All right. I'm going to go with Blaze Alexander, youngster for Arizona. Blaze Alexander to record a hit. All right. There you go. There's Beat the Streak. Dylan, have a great weekend. Keep rolling, man.
Yep, you guys as well. Thank you.
I appreciate you. There you go. Dylan, we met Dylan at Ballpark Village last Thursday for the home opener. And he's been crushing it. Now, his first selection wasn't even in the lineup, if you remember.
I don't know that he remembers, but Dylan.
His first selection was somebody we were like, Dylan, not in the lineup. He goes, all right, I'll take Mason Wynn.
There you go.
And he has been rolling ever since. So nice job to Dylan. Loyal listener to the show, which we certainly appreciate. So, okay, there you go. There's Beat the Streak. We do need a new Fade or Follow contestant. So if you want to play Fade or Follow, our last contestant, man, he faded us on UConn.
So he originally followed us, but then you were like, well, hold on a second, and then he faded us.
Yeah, I said I wanted to clarify because he was like, oh, yeah, I think that Alabama's going to stay with UConn. I go, whoa, wait a second here.
You talked him out of it.
Well, I said you're either Team Huskies or you get the heck out.
Yeah.
And he got the heck out.
All right.
So now we need a new Fade or Follow contestant. So if you want to text in to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646, the word Fade or Follow, you're good. Might have a chance to play. All right, biggest question of the day.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, Marshall, what we got?
Yeah, so wanted to go back to some of the mic drops that we had from the expectations and, you know, whether or not people are optimistic or pessimistic about this Cardinals team. And so we have a few mic drops here. We'll start off with Doug, and then we'll get to Lisa.
The reason the Blues get a pass is because they got an owner that spends to the cap every year, does everything he can to bring home a winner in one of the toughest divisions in the league. The Cardinals, on the other hand, are in the weakest division. You piece together these players that aren't worth a damn and just hope to make the playoffs. And the arrogance about the Cardinals really has turned me off, Mo especially.
All right, so there's Doug talking about a little bit of arrogance. And now let's get to Lisa and see what she had to say.
The Mason Wins, the Jordan Walkers, the Victor Scotts, Contreras, and Herrera. There's some guys on this team that they look fun and hopefully keep getting better. That would be awesome. But it's an overall arrogance. And I don't know where the Cardinals think that if you treat your fan base like we don't have to treat them well, we don't have to show up. I mean, go back in history, 90 to 95, when the Anheuser-Busch family was done owning. They were done winning. The attendance went down, down, down. 95, DeWitt's bought. Walt brought in the last great manager we had, Tony La Russa, and they had Dave Duncan. The St. Louis Cardinals are owned by a family that's done winning. And if they're not, somebody can prove me wrong. They're done winning. And so guess what? You're going to watch this get destroyed. And it just really, really makes me sad. But anyway, Mr. DeWitt, thanks for the memories. Please sell this team. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so you heard two words there, arrogant.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's the same word, but you heard it twice. You heard it twice.
Two mic drops, yeah.
Do you think the Cardinals are too arrogant?
So, when I hear arrogance, I think they're specifically talking about John Mozeliak.
Yeah.
I think that's who they are referring to. But again, Mo has a boss as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we put a lot on Mo with, you're not signing this guy, you're not spending money, it ain't his money. And so I think Lisa hit the nail on the head. If the DeWitts are the people that are solely responsible for which players come in and come out based on how much you're willing to pay them or not, then John Mozeliak can only do so much, and it's not, in my opinion, I'm sure he's not the person, I tried, but this guy doesn't give a damn. No, that's not how it works.
Right.
He's gonna shoulder most of the blame, and he's still culpable to a degree because, again, that's your job to spend to the amount that you're allowed to spend and find players that can put a product on the field that gives you an opportunity to win. So, they're both culpable, but I can understand the frustration. If you don't put a product out there that is not going to be competent and win more games than you lose, then you're probably not going to have a fan base that shows up to support you.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if I would describe them necessarily as arrogant, but they're definitely risk averse. Mm-hmm. And that's from, Carey, you just outlined it, that's from the top down.
Right.
The ownership group is risk averse because they want to toe the line. I've not seen them go over the line yet. The contracts that they give out have always been fair market value, or they're willing to slightly overpay, give a guy an extra year, but it's that mid-tier guy. Mm-hmm. Like, they'll pay full price on the mid-tier liquor. They're not willing to go up and get the best stuff at that. Not at that price. I got a good one here.
I can still get drunk.
I can get 2 bottles of this for that price, and you're not paying the top shelf. I don't know if that's an arrogance thing, but I do think it's a risk-averse thing, and Mo is definitely risk-averse. Mm-hmm. He is. You see this every year at the deadline. What do we need? Pitching? Cool. John Lester and J-Hap, here you go. And he made 2 really good trades a couple of years ago with acquiring Jose Quintana and Jordan Montgomery.
Right.
Then he let both guys walk out the door. I mean, there is definitely a risk-averse side to the Cardinals, which leaves you with the same. You're watching the same movie every year
with a bad taste in your mouth.
The offseason, you know they're not going to do anything special.
They signed Wilson Contreras last offseason. That was
because they needed a catcher.
They had Iván Herrera. They just didn't know.
Did they acquire Sean Murphy?
They didn't.
No, that would have been
cost
the
a
risk.
little bit. Yeah, that would have been a little bit more risky.
What'd they do? They went with the safer option in Wilson Contreras this past year. They
What
go
is
with
that
the
guy?
risk.
What is that guy Murphy?
They went with the guys that all wanted to be here. They didn't
guy?
trade for Tyler Glass. No, they didn't. They weren't going to rock the boat. They didn't trade for Dylan Cease. Too risky. But I will bring in 3 guys that say they want to be Cardinals.
I think the arrogance comes from, at least I'm trying to put myself in these two, Lisa and Doug's shoes. I think maybe the arrogance that they're talking about is the way that Mo speaks when he talks to the media. And I feel like some fans feel like he's speaking down to them and acting like they don't know anything.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's coming from.
And believe it or not, and people are going to disagree with me, I actually feel for Mo in that regard, because I think some people, that's just kind of who he is, and I don't necessarily know if he's trying to speak down. I think he's honest when he speaks, but he's honest from a standpoint of he's very practical. And when you're dealing with a fan base, any fan base, not just the Cardinals fan base, but any fan base that's emotional, and they're giving up their money, to Lisa's point, they're giving up their money to go see your product. They're emotional about it. They got feelings, man. So when you're talking about, and you're talking in practicalities, it comes off almost as arrogant. There's nothing Mo can really do to change his personality. That's who he is. So that, again, I feel a little bad for him, but I understand the viewpoint of it comes off as like the guy's talking down to me. Mm-hmm. That's my Cardinals. I'm paying you to watch. This is crap. I get it. You don't want to hear somebody that you think is talking down to you. All right, Fade or Follow. Biggest question. No, sorry. Fade or Follow, Bet the Board, and 3 stars of the day. Next on 101 ESPN. Mosby Building Arts, they are the right remodeling company. You may say to yourself, well, what's the right remodeling company? What does a wrong remodeling company look like? You know it when you see it. In fact, you probably have seen it at some point if you are a homeowner and you've done a remodeling project, whether you've redone a bathroom or the kitchen, and you think you've got this great deal on this remodeling or this contractor, and all of a sudden they're behind and they're asking for more money. Or you're displaced for months on end with really no timetable of when you're going to get your kitchen back. That's the wrong remodeling company. When it comes to Mosby Building Arts, it doesn't matter what the project is. There's nothing that's too big or too small. They've got great deals on windows, great offers on bathrooms, but it's not about the price. They will tell you the price up front after they take the correct measurements, after they sit down with you to talk about what you want in your home. Then they'll give you the price. And at first you may be like, well, man, I think I can go someplace else and get it cheaper. You might. Or they'll start adding on to the price throughout the course of the project, and all of a sudden you're paying more for the wrong remodeling company. With Mosby Building Arts, they're going to do it right the first time. Their contractors are all employees. They're under the same roof at Mosby. So the great bathroom remodelers, they've got electricians, plumbers, everything is in-house at Mosby. So go with Mosby. 314-909-1800. Call Mosby.com is their website. If you call them, tell them Stalter sent you. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
It's time for FanDuel Fade or Follow on the Fast Lane.
Brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more.
Everyone follow us.
No fade, no fade.
Money, 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 money.
All right, time to play Fade or Follow. Marsh, who do we got today? Chase?
Chase is our contestant today.
All right, Chase, welcome to the show. You ready to play Fade or Follow?
How we doing? Yeah, I'm ready.
Excellent. All right, here's the deal, Chase. We're going to give you our play. You can fade us if you want, or you can follow us. Chances are you're going to follow us today, though, because we're going to take the Battlehawks -1 against the San Antonio Brahmas. The complete lack of respect from odds makers for our Battlehawks. Now they haven't covered yet, but now this weekend they will. So we have the Battlehawks -1. Would you like to fade us or follow us?
The only way I was going to fade you guys today is if the bet had to do with Ivan Herrera, but I think I'm going to go ahead and follow you guys.
There you go. Sounds good. Now, are you as appalled and as angry, as frustrated as I am about the Ivan Herrera situation of not being in the lineup, or you're like, nah, I get it?
Nah, I get it.
Unbelievable. Well, Chase, I hate to do this, but no, I won't do it. I won't say it. I'm not going to be revengeful on a fun Friday here. So, Chase, good luck to you, man. Have a great weekend.
Sounds good. Talk to you guys Monday.
All right. See you, Chase. See ya. So, yeah, he's like you guys. He doesn't believe that the best hitter should be in the lineup.
I don't think that's what we said. I think we said it just wasn't going to happen. Because we study the Cardinals and their plans and their moves.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel Cardinal-like to have both Contreras and Herrera in the lineup over and over and over again. Now.
That I agree with, Carey.
There you go. That's what Marshy and I understood.
Mm-hmm. You understood the Cardinal way.
There you go. We might be able to be the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I should have put my glasses on when I told you that.
You probably should have. If you miss anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101 ESPN. That's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. I just got a tweet from Curtis, and I for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what he was talking about, but he said Caitlin Clark for women's basketball. Now I get it. We were talking about the Tiger Woods. That's a great call.
Yeah.
That's a really good call.
She has done a great job.
The longevity, though, would go with Tiger, but that's still an impact. I completely agree with you, Curtis. Okay. Time for Bet the Board. Here on 101 ESPN. Marsh, do you still have the lead? Well, we're tied.
We are tied.
Okay, so
one
go
behind,
ahead.
I think. Correct?
Yeah, so yes.
4 and 5?
Yes.
You and Anthony are 5 and 4?
Correct.
Okay.
So tonight, Anthony, what was your pick going to be?
Oh, Arizona Diamondbacks all the way. No Ivan Herrera means no win.
All right, so I think I'm going to take the Arizona Diamondbacks.
No, you won't.
Money. No, I'm kidding.
You won't. You won't do that.
I'm not going to do that.
You don't have the huevos rancheros, Marsh.
Well, I don't want to be mean to you, Anthony. That wouldn't be the first time I stole your pick. I'm looking at strikeouts tonight.
That worked out for both of us. The UConn pick, I took them in the first half.
That actually did. It actually did. I'm going to look at the Arizona Diamondbacks run total. I'm going to go with over 4.5 tonight.
Okay. Ooh. I'm just going to take the Diamondbacks -130.
Yeah, you guys are. Come on.
Steven Matt's going to pitch very well tonight. They're not going to have much offense.
Okay. Because Ivan is sitting on the bench.
That's correct.
That is correct.
Your hottest hitter on the bench watching.
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah.
These guys. Give me my Golden State Warriors -4. Where did it go? Just lost it. Oh, disappeared. I think it's -4.5 against the. I don't know who they're playing now. It disappeared.
Yeah, you're all right. Doesn't matter. We all know we're going to take
Pelicans -4.
-4 against the Pelicans.
Yeah, -4.
And Jamie took the Wild earlier today.
That's right. He mentioned that. Okay. Marsh, what do you got for criticisms and compliments, or if you want to buzz forward, 3 stars of the day?
Yep, 3 stars of the day. Before we get out of here, our 3rd star of the day goes out to Jamie Rivers, his final Valley Sports
Way
game.
to go, Jamie. Nice season, huh?
Good season.
Good season there, kid.
Yep.
Our 2nd star of the day, this one's from the text line, Sharknado. Why? Because Anthony's a Shark fan, and he's kind of a Carolina Hurricane fan, too, apparently.
Rocking like a hurricane.
Sharknado, great movie, right? Those two things come together, 2 of Anthony's favorite things.
All right, Sharknado.
That makes sense. I'll give it to you. All right.
And our 1st star of the day, he's not in the lineup tonight. Should be. Ivan Herrera.
No, I'm not going to clap for that. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. You know what the Braves do all the time, right? They bench guys like Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, they don't. They let him play 155 games.
I'll just do it myself. 5:56. Anthony Stalter calls Ivan Herrera. Ronald Acuna.
There you go.
All right. Everybody have a great weekend. Thank you for listening. Thanks for joining us. On Monday, we'll be back at 2 o'clock for Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. See you.